Hello? Is this thing on? Oh god, it's completely covered in cobwebs. When's the last time anybody did anything here? Christ, it must have been like a decade ago. Oh my god, is that a Wii U with all that dust covered? Oh Christ. Get that thing out of here. Let me just get
Dude,
the light. Let me just get the light switch on here. Hold on a sec, man. I can't see anything.
please turn it on.
Alright, there we go. I'm adding that shit in post. Welcome everybody. We're back. We're finally back. Oh my god, after like four freaking months of nothing, which I'll get into later. Holy shit. We're back. Once again, as always. I say as always, but it's been a minute. So I don't know if I can even say that. But alright, as usual, if you watch the episodes, Marcos Molina, and joined by the rebranded, the new, minty fresh model, Fatal Brace Your Soul, coming at you.
Just in time for 2020, bitches.
Christ. What's good, man? What's good? It's been, oh my god, it's been forever.
Yeah, it's been exactly been forever. I was July, June, August.
And then
Maybe,
just died.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Is that in our virtual recording studio, I'm seeing a dead fucking skeleton with a receipt for freaking Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, Christ. I mean, it feels like that amount of time. Feels right. Probably the last person who had to be stuck here. I just left it there. He's like, listen,
Yeah.
this is just the void for anyone who takes forever to put shit out. Everyone's here. Christ. Final Fantasy 15 is also here.
Even Shenmue 3 is here.
Oh man, it's the
Yeah.
void. But yeah,
Oh, actually.
oh yeah,
Oh,
what's
wait.
up?
Oh, hold on. Let me just check. Oh, I also found he has a pre-order receipt for Half-Life 3 as well.
Oh my god, which that got announced too. Yeah, we didn't we couldn't even do an episode on friggin' Alex was announced. Christ, so many things, man. I
Yeah.
think the last thing I did was Trails in the Sky first chapter, and then that last episode which I put out on frickin' Christmas unintentionally. That
Mm-hmm.
just happened to be the day. Oh my lord, that was when I was talking about not playing any other SNK games, and that already changed in those last few months too, because I played a shit ton of games in that 1 week. Oh good lord. Just too much, man. I can't even there's just gonna be some things where I'm like, listen, if you weren't involved in the streams or anything or showing up, I can't possibly elaborate on everything. We'd be here all day. Um did play a shit ton of Falcom games though. Good lord. I checked out the E series. I actually just started E3 at the time of recording this. Today was the first session, which was really cool. But oh my lord, just a lot of stuff. Even in news and stuff. We missed a lot, but honestly, most of that blame goes to me. But I'll elaborate a bit. I explained that on streams, but I don't, expect everybody to be there when it happened. So the last episode was recorded before I had to do that trip to Florida for 10 days, and I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good time. Got used to it. Man, unfortunately, though, there was a lot of rain on that trip. I guess, going to Florida in August, it probably out of 7 out of 10 of those days, it was just pouring.
Yeah.
Ridiculously the whole day. I was like, well, so much for the plans that they had to go somewhere. So it'd be like that.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is that I think for a place like Florida, it's nearby the region, I believe, for Central America along with the Caribbeans. That's usually the rainy season until October.
Yeah, which is nuts. But honestly, I'd rather the rain than winter or anything. Because, man, I could get into some freaking rants here. This month hasn't been too bad, or the last few months hasn't been too bad for snow. It usually stays for 3 days and then leaves again. It's a weird on and off thing. This year it looks like. But man, I will never understand. And it's I kinda get it. People who miss the snow or wish it was there, I get it to a point. It's pretty to look at. It looks pretty cool aesthetically. I get it. But man, when you gotta plow that driveway, when you gotta make way for all this other stuff, when you walk outside your porch and it's just covered in that shit, I'm like, at some point it just gets tedious. When I just want to walk across the sidewalk to get to the bus, and it's just nothing but ice, I'm like, great, this is a this is an obstacle course right now. All of a sudden, just walking the sidewalk, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like there's like ice and slush, and it doesn't help that we have yet to get snow, but every time I check on the weather app on my phone, it's like, snow is coming, snow is coming.
And that's the thing. It's like, even if you know that it hasn't happened yet, it's like delayed. Like, it'll still show up for its 2 months or 3, or God forbid 4 on some really bad years. Like, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
You can't escape that shit.
Yeah, it's just like a pain for like many things, especially like for cars. You gotta like change your tires and stuff. But if you're someone like us that takes the bus like every day,
yeah, it's just annoying to get around. Like, just in general, man. Like, it just makes everything more tedious to go outside, no matter what you use or what you do. That's why I'm just like, I get it. It's pretty to look at when you're inside, but man, I'd rather take the rain, because while the rain does suck and you might get struck by lightning, oh, I'm sorry, man. I know the cobwebs are pretty rough, but we'll deal with it. See the vacuum cleaner.
Well, sorry, I got allergies. I had to take my friggin' allergy pills in this place.
Man, we're suffering here. We gotta move out.
We gotta clean this shit, actually.
For real. Nah, get some freaking dust sweepers. God. Times like these, I wish I had like 4 arms. Oh man. But no. But yeah, the I guess like winter rant aside, so the last episode was supposed to come out either before I did that move, or either a trip to Florida, or afterwards, shortly afterwards. But yeah, it didn't quite pan out, because I forgot that Shin immediately wanted to do Doom 3 the second I got off that plane. Granted, I think I waited like a day after, at least. But I knew it was like time constraints of that marathon, and man, that ended up being for nothing, because then Doom Eternal got delayed. Holy shit, a lot of stuff has happened, you guys. So yeah, that game's coming out in March. I'm like, great, that Doom marathon. I wish I just, I kind of wish I didn't do it, because man, I didn't. I was talking to Arcadis about it a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel bad about that marathon, because it's just like, man, I played it, but my heart wasn't in it. So I couldn't enjoy it nearly as much as I probably would have. You know? It's rough when that happens.
Yeah, especially, like, it doesn't help that, like, when Doom Eternal got delayed.
Yeah, at that point I was just like, oh my god. It's like a media, like a wave saying, like, I just wasted time. I just denied myself, like, second chapter for, like, 3 months for what? You know? I was a little pissed, but I was like, not pissed at them for delaying it, but just, God, it sucked. And the thing is, like, that's probably the thing that killed it too, was that, like, man, Doom 1, 2, and 64 all were like pretty fun. When I got to Doom 3, that's when I was just like, I've clocked out. Like, mentally, I'm just out of it. The rooms look samey, and the DLC didn't help because it kept reusing the same rooms over and over again from like the main campaign. I'm just like, oh, this is not it. Like, I remember when Shin said, oh, you could do the DLC missions by yourself. I was mostly quiet, just trying to speed run through it. So I'm like, this is the last thing before I'm free. In my mind, that was the entire thing. I was like, this is the last thing I gotta do before SC. If I finish this, I'm fucking free. You know, it's like, that's a horrible mentality. If you're playing a game and you're just going through emotions, like, holy shit, what is going on? And I didn't want to make a big deal about it, because I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to make it a big deal, but, God, it just, it just sucked.
I know that feel. That's like me with like trying to beat like East 5. That is like the same mentality I had with that game.
But see, the thing is, at least with that one, your heart probably was in it to at least check out the whole series, right? So You at least
Well,
went in with the intentions of, I don't even know.
well, no, here's the thing: is that like I was like checking out the series, right? But
Yeah.
when like E5 finally got translated, like man, I think it's just I think it came to a point where like I'm just staring at my screen, just going through the dungeons and stuff.
Just dead. God.
Yeah, pretty much I was like a zombie right there.
Man, I feel, because that's the thing with me and Doom 3. It's like, it's a fine game. Oh man, it just really wasn't what I wanted to play whatsoever. You know, it's not the game's fault, but man, really shouldn't have forced it. But what can you do? Hindsight's, 2020. Oh god. I already saw freaking, I think at one point in the mail recently, I saw like I think it was just like a lens company or something, like trying to like sell, and they're just like, man, start the year right with 2020 vision. I'm like, oh my god, they did it. They already did.
It doesn't help. Like I've seen like some people like making that joke during New Year's.
Yeah. Good lord. But yeah, no. Okay, because I'm going off on tangents, but this is good. This is the main thing, by the way, for anybody. Don't expect like any major new stuff. There's like a few things, but it's nothing crazy. It's like 8 things, little small things. But yeah, so the episode was meant to come out at around that time, but then immediately when I came back, it was Doom 3 streams constantly. So it fell by the wayside. But then afterwards, I was like, okay, let me get this done. Hopefully before it's it takes like, before it's like a month old. I wanted to at least do it, because it's like, okay, it's taking way too long. Let me get this shit done. I still didn't get around to it, because man, the biggest problem that like plagued me whenever I did have any little free time, I'm talking maybe like 2 or 3 hours to my name after like streaming or anything, or like, like it's like late at night, but like I don't want to do like a late night stream for anything, because some people might not show up, which I've stopped doing late night streams for the most part if I can avoid them, because I've realized that a lot of people don't tune into those, so I'm just like, might as well make them early. But I mean, I do like, a little bit late at night, like if you're around or anything, but regardless, the point I'm trying to make is that it fell by the wayside. But the thing that kind of killed it even more was that whenever I did have time and I was like, oh, let me edit a little bit, let me sync up the audio, let me at least like, clean up some of the background noise or what have you, let me just do a little bit of progress on it tonight. It never got around to working, because of several factors. For one, the joys of editing programs, whether it's Audacity or Vegas or what have you, they always require a shit ton of, I guess you call it metadata or temporary like files or something. Like it whenever you want it to run and start a project, it's just like, hey, let me just hog these like 5 gigs on your C drive for no reason. I don't even know what you're using it for, but it wants it, and I'm just like, all right, this thing is just crashing or going completely slow. It's a nightmare, like literally just from like transferring like your audio file to the one that I have for like the project that has mine in it already. If I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to do that, and the time that it took to transfer that file over, because it's like, I think it's like, since it's like WAV files, it's like 2 gigs or something crazy like that. It would crash or just not do it, and it would stop responding. And I'm just like, this is a fucking nightmare. I'm just trying to
Wow.
transfer this file over. Like, that's all I want to do. And it just refused to let me do it. And I had to wait minutes on end for that, just for it to like slap me in the face. And I tried like 3 times. I was like, okay, this is clearly not working. So I gave up on the night. It's usually days like that, or it's like you just want to do a simple thing, not even finish the entire editing in one night, and it just didn't let me do it. And I figured out what the problem is. It wasn't just the fact that it was taking up, a few temporary like storage spaces on its own. It was also the fact that there were files that I did not know were still saved from Sony Vegas in like 2 spots, or I think like 1 spot, where I guess it's standard, but man, I did not know where it was saving them, because it wasn't labeled like Vegas like video projects or anything. It was just labeled as like saved videos, I think, on like a file somewhere.
Oh
It
yeah, yeah.
backed up all of the, like, if I put in any video clips or anything for like other things I would edit, if I put any of those on the timeline or inserted them into Sony Vegas, it would immediately make a backup.
Yeah.
I think it was that, or it was either like the video editing software, but regardless, one of those two. If I wanted to do any of those, they'd make backups, and I didn't know where the hell they put them until I finally found them. Like, I think late November, when I was just looking around to see, like, all right, how am I gonna clear up space on this like C drive, because it's like almost filled, you know? Like, that's the part that killed it too. So I finally found what to delete, and then suddenly I had like 32 gigs free. I'm like, okay, now I can finally work on this damn thing. But God, that's the other thing too. As someone who's not used to video editing, I didn't know that they always make backups like instantaneously like that. I thought you like had the choice to do that. But man, that's just forced. Like, it just becomes a hog, and you gotta clean that shit all the time.
Yeah. I was gonna say is that like I wasn't aware like it does that automatically.
Yeah, it might not be Vegas, like I said. It's either that one or the other video editor that I mentioned like before, that I used. I was just like, fuck it, pretty much like glorified Windows Movie Maker. Um,
Yeah.
but that was before I got Vegas. But yeah, apparently one of those did it automatically, and I'm just like, shit. All right, well, I found it and deleted all of them. So thankfully now I had enough storage space on the C drive to finally edit the episode after months of just like not understanding what the hell was going on. Because it's like I had like a few of the Falcom games installed, and I was like, this should not be taking several gigs of the C drive. Something is taking up space that I can't, like, you know, I already tried like disk cleanup and a whole bunch of other stuff and like moving other files until I finally found it. My God, that was like the biggest culprit. So that should be taken care of. So now that means that, you know, I should have, I could actually do other episodes now with no problem, not having to worry about it. But man, that was just a pain. Because sometimes, like I said, it was only like 2 hours I would have to my name, and just trying to do this stuff. And like I said, that transferring usually took like 20 minutes. And I'm just like, shit. Like now it was all for nothing. And like you just waste time just trying to do simple tasks, because it's like running on max. And then it's just like, nope, I'm just going to crash. Audacity's like, I give up. You got like megabytes left on this C drive, bro. While I'm running, I'm out. So thankfully it's fine now. But man, that was a whole ordeal. It's just a pain. As someone who doesn't know video editing, I did not know programs did that shit, and now I know for the future. But man, that's so dumb. Like literally just the same file size and everything. It wasn't even compressed. It just made a backup in its own like folder that it made from the program. I'm like, what the hell is this? So yeah, that caught me off guard.
Yeah. Basically, like at the end of the day, is that programs like that and technology is a bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like you just gotta find some horse shit, and it's just like, oh, here we go. Here's this crap that you didn't want. We're gonna hide it. We're just gonna put it somewhere. It's like Easter, but nobody wants it.
Yeah, it's like we'll just put like the secret pot of gold in your C drive over there.
God.
You're gonna find it, and you're gonna be very super pissed or happy about it.
It's a gold painted turd. It looks good, but man, it's terrible. Nah, but that's what happened. Where it took like 4 months. Yeah, pretty much 4 months for this to come out. My God, uh, it sucks, but hey, we're good. So New Year, right? I wanted to finally get that episode out, on December, just to not have to deal with it for this year. So now we're good. This is like what? Are we on the 7th or?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
the
we're
8th.
on. Wait, the 8th episode?
No. I was looking at the date on my phone. For like,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No
Either
worries.
way, actually, we are on the 8th. So either way is right. Um, but yeah. Oh boy, it's been a minute. Like I said, I can't possibly cover everything, but all I gotta say is Falcom is dope. Those last few months was mainly me just playing a lot of Falcom games, a lot of good ones too. Finally beat like the Sky Trilogy. It was phenomenal. I love it. I hope someday I could like make videos or something just like talking about him and why I loved him so much. I don't know. Like there's a few goals kind of have for this year, and I'll get into it later. But man, it's It's been a trip. East is also very good from what I've played so far, but it's just mainly been that. I played a few games, but it's kind of funny. November kind of just fell through with the game releases that I thought I was going to get. Like, I thought I was going to get Pokemon Sword and Shield. Didn't bother. I thought I was going to get Death Stranding. Didn't bother. Doom Eternal got delayed. That was probably the weirdest moment where I'm just like, I just don't care. Because I'm playing Sky the Third. Like, everything else... sorry. Everything else might as well be pushed to the side. Because I'm like, if it's not Falcom, I just don't care for those last few months. Oh my god.
Yeah, and just insert like the one meme pic of the one guy and those two girls.
Oh god, yeah,
Literally,
pretty much.
yeah, literally like that's you just staring at the Falcon girl right there.
Yeah, all those releases in the back. He just turns out, I was like, oh man, that's really tempting. Gosh. But that's the thing, you know. After after that experience with the Doom series and like Doom 3 especially, I'm just like, listen, if my heart's not in it, I'm not gonna force it anymore. I really don't want to do that anymore that year, because that was already torture. Those 3 months between FC and second chapter was the worst part of the year. Like, straight up, that was the worst part of the year for me. Because I was just denying myself of something I really wanted. And granted, yeah, it's just video games. But holy fuck, man. If it's a movie or a book or anything, when you leave something on a cliffhanger and you're invested, that shit sucks. Like, oh my god, I would have rather like left up between like second chapter and third. God, that would have been a way better time to do it. But regardless, that's just how it be.
Yeah,
But
they just like had to do it that way,
yeah,
just to make it feel like literally like me and everyone else got into that trap where I need to play second chapter.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like Shin's like, he's kind of trying to emphasize, like, dude, I know you want to get into second chapter, I know you're doing it, but it's like, no, you don't understand. It's not addiction. It's just leaving me hanging, bro. Like literally. Oh, I wish I could have told him, man. God, but yeah, I don't want to spoil him either because I know he was gonna like potentially get there someday. But
Eventually.
yeah, who knows when, you know. But yeah, aside from that, I don't think I played anything. No, I'm trying to think what else did I play in the year that I didn't really get to talk about at all in the podcast. I mean, I played Three Houses and I love that. Only did the Blue Lions route, but that was a really fun game. I did Luigi's Mansion 3 with my sister in around like November. That was a really fun co-op game. If anybody hasn't, played it or checked it out yet, and if you're a fan of the series, I highly recommend that game. Good lord, it's super charming. I genuinely love the time I had with that game. A lot of good laughs and good memories. Like, there are just some games that I play where I'm just like, I'm gonna remember this shit for years. And usually with co-op games, that's like twofold. Like, you just remember those like moments tied to like playing with that person as well. So it's just like, I don't know, man. It's all just really good memories for me playing that game. But aside from that, nothing else too major I played in like those last 4 months that was like new releases. I guess the only thing was, oh man, actually we could probably get into that later. But who cares? Like, this one doesn't really have any structure because it's like we're just going back into the swing of things anyway.
Yep.
But I was gonna say the only other thing would be the Game Awards. Oh boy, that was a disappointment. But I think they called it the Games Festival. That was kind of cool because we got to play like a few demos for games that aren't out yet, and they're probably gonna come out next year, or rather this year. We're now in current year. Man, that's so weird. Usually January month, it's like, oh right, yeah, we're in the new year. Got to stop saying next year. But
yeah, like wait, remember again, I still get reminded of when like you and like and your sister were watching like the Nintendo Direct, and then she was like, 2019, that is so long. And so I have to remind her we're in 2019.
yeah. Pretty much, man. Well, yeah, Skateboard was kind of cool. I think the other thing I mentioned on stream was that the demo was fine. It just needs momentum. That's the only thing it really missed for me to like feel like super satisfied playing it. A lot of hilarious bugs too.
Oh, dude, like you found like the most quality bugs compared to my playthrough with that demo.
God, it's so good. But no, that game's cool. It's coming out on Switch, so if anybody wants to check that out, this coming year. I don't think did they give a release date?
They only said like 2020, but
Okay.
it's also like a coming to Steam as well. But the cool part is that in the Steam version, you can like put in like you can drop in like your MP3s for your custom playlist.
Hell
So
yeah.
if you're one of those people that have like pop punk with you,
Put that Pro Skater soundtrack, you're good. Oh my
yo,
god.
put that shit in.
Put that gold finger in. uh no, but yeah, that was pretty cool. The one that really surprised me, because I remember seeing it, I think in an Indie World showcase. It's
Yeah,
gosh, I didn't know, because like the trailer looked cool and I liked the sprite work, but I didn't know how like I was gonna fare like combat wise, and it's just like, man, Eastward is actually one of the games that I can't wait to play when it comes out this year. And I usually don't follow indie games that much. I really don't, because it's just hard to find the time. But man, this shit's charming. It gives me, which actually it will kind of go into one of the things that we're going to talk about later on, I guess in like the news section, which is like pretty brief. Um, but the sprite works and like the overall like setting and everything, just kind of like the layout, gave me a lot of like Mother vibes in a good way. A lot of indie games kind of go for that if they're like a JRPG, I've noticed. But or at least it kind of evoke that feel for me. But man, music's pretty good. Combat's like simple but fun. I like the dungeons where it's like you kind of split up between like two characters. But it was just a really good demo, really good impressions to the point where I'm just like, I'm sold. I wanna check it out and see what it's all about. But man, I'm looking forward to that. Probably gonna get it on Switch though, just because Steam might be I don't know, it might not be problematic, but man, sometimes I have bad luck. Like I was surprised that E3 gave me some issues. Like before we started, I was like, "Oh my god, this game is like several years old. What's going on here?" Shit's
hey,
weird.
that was like very strange.
I
Cause I
don't
mean,
know. I
I could
had to
swear
drop
that
it down
like
to medium.
I could get like running fine on my mom's laptop, but
Yeah. Oh no, dude, and that's what got me too. Is like it was running fine when I wasn't streaming. When I streamed, it's just like, nope, not doing it. Might need to
yeah.
check the processor or something that the OBS uses to stream. But
Most likely, yeah, that's where the case where like OBS like depending on like some power too. But who knows? I mean, that's the problem like, when you try to stream like PC games on a like on a laptop like yours.
yeah, God, that's the thing. Like, I can't wait to move out because like once I can move to Florida later this year, man, I want to start saving up for a custom PC. It's driving me nuts because it's like I would like to do PC game streams, no problem, but I can never tell sometimes with laptops trying to stream and like play games at the same time. God, Phantasy Star Online 2 comes out this year too. I don't know when I'm gonna fit that into everything. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that's also like when I have to like upgrade to Windows 10 in order to play that.
Yeah. Although I think they did say it's coming to PS4, so maybe I could do it that way. I don't know.
Mm, we'll see, because at the moment it's only just like Xbone and Windows 10, but who knows?
No, no, I could have. I swear, I saw an interview that said that they are planning on like bringing it to PS4. Um, and they specifically mentioned that was for the West, but it's been so long. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Regardless,
Yeah.
I don't have the receipts right now, and I don't have the time because we're just recording this live right now. So fuck it. I ain't fact checking that. But uh, regardless, I will find a way to do it, even if I gotta run that shit on like low settings on PC. Oh my lord, I can't pass it up. But yeah, no, that happened. But aside from that, nothing crazy happened. I feel like I'm forgetting something that happened in those last few months, but I just can't think of anything. Oh, I mean, I kind of mentioned it. Checking out some of the older SNK games was like super fun. I really got to go back, like maybe if I have like a week free or something, just like play some of the other older ones too. My God, that was it was kind of cool just learning so many fighting games in such a short span of time. Because good lord, I don't know, there's something kind of fun about being lost and like figuring the game out as you keep playing, even if you keep getting destroyed.
I'm pretty impressed. Like, you were able to do that, because it reminds me when like when I first like learned how to use MAME.
Yeah.
That was when like I wonder what kind of fighting games are in this thing that I haven't even played and want to check out.
Oh man, freaking Garou was definitely like probably all things considered out of all of them. Because for those who don't know and like are curious, because I don't know who's gonna listen to this in the future, um, played I forget the exact order. Gosh, what was the order? I think it was like Real Bout,
Yeah, it was
Special first, right?
yeah, Rebel Special first.
Okay, and then after that, I think it was Last Blade 2.
Yeah, it was Last Blade 2, and then I believe it was like Garou, KO with 98,
Yeah,
and finally KO 14.
man, going from Garou to like KO of 98 was like a bit of a downgrade. Oh my god, like Garou's like the sprite work on that thing is like ridiculously cool. Christ. But
And man, same thing for like Last Blade 2 though. Like despite like like the very janky gameplay, like the sprite work is also definitely like up there like with Garou as well.
oh yeah, even Robot Special looked really good too. I think it's weird. Like Garou was probably the most fun to play, just because it felt really good. But for me, Robot Special was like the one that was like the most comfortable because it felt like it had like actual Gatling like combo strings for your normals. I guess if I had to like label them, like that's more of like a Guilty Gear term. But basically, when you press buttons like in rapid succession, or I guess like Magic Series or what have you, like when it just feels good to press the buttons in a row like that, it just feels really satisfying. Because some games it feels like you press like one button and you have no idea what connects afterwards, so it feels super clunky on like the first go. But that one felt like super good at the start. But aside from that, yeah, we did 98 and then 14, which 14 is pretty good, but man, it's unfortunate for as much as I did have fun with it. It's dead now. I'm sure there's some people that play it, but man, if I only played it just like a year earlier or something, gosh. Now I'm pretty much forced to wait till 15, unfortunately. But it'd be like that.
I mean to be fair is that like you're pretty much or like in the last like 14 before 15 drops.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we could stream it like right when like 15 gets like a release date announced. Just to like, I don't know, make the wait feel less painful. Because Christ. Either that
Yeah,
or Sam Show. Do something, man. Because God, whenever it's like a fighting game that I'm looking forward to, and I'm just like, damn it, that month feels like forever until getting there. Gotta kill time with something.
yeah. I think that's gonna be us with like KO 15. Also same for like Uniclear.
Oh yeah, but Uniclear is close. I can wait for that.
Yeah, and plus it's also like a free patch, which we only just need to pay. I think the only thing we just need to pay for is only just for Lundreka, the new character.
Yeah. I forget, how much do the characters usually cost if they're like DLC? I want to say maybe like $5.
I think $5, but we'll see because they haven't like talked about the price yet.
Yeah. But man, shout out to anybody who like I think the sale's like over like the holiday sale. But if people were smart, they did buy Eunice during that sale. So now they get like an upgrade that's probably relatively cheap instead of just buying Uniclear by itself. Although granted, I'm probably gonna buy Uniclear on Switch. But man, it's worth it to do it on PS4 for like the free upgrade.
Yep. If you bought it like during the holiday sale, you pretty much
Yep.
have like the cheapest a copy of Uniclear.
Yeah. Oh, right. That is the one thing that I forgot to mention. Just because like the holidays, I remember that what I bought was like a lot of Devil May Cry stuff. So a few days ago, I did beat Devil May Cry 1. That was pretty cool.
Congrats.
Uh, yeah, it's like it's like a 7 out of 10. I feel like if I gave it an 8, it'd be a disservice to like 3, 4, and 5 going forward. Because my God, the series just got so much better than 1, but 1 still holds up pretty good. Combat's pretty good. It's just that there's a few things that kind of hold it back for me. Underwater sections pretty jank. Platforming is rough with those fixed angles because sometimes you can't even see a drop shadow if there is one for where you're about to jump. Combined with like the pressure sensitive jump, it makes it really hard to gauge distance with several like arcs that you can do for a jump. I'm like, okay, I actually don't know sometimes with these jumps, especially when it's like for optional like blue orb fragments or something. They just make it rough to even tell where you gotta go or jump. Sometimes.
Yeah, and I believe you also learned that Devil Trigger into the air while shooting like your lightning pulse is like the most OP thing ever.
Oh yeah, that's so free. It's just like, okay, it just auto targets on that shit, which it's good, but then it's also bad because that auto target system really messes me up on certain fights. Like that third fight with the nightmare boss. That was just rough because several times just like, oh my god, game, I just want to hit that like sigil on the wall or like whatever you call that thing. Like I just want to hit that, not the like small puddles it spawns like for monsters. I'm like, nope. Several times just like, that's not where I want it to go, game, please. And I get screwed or take some damage and I'm like, fuck. That's my life.
Yeah, that part is like where that auto lock system was like really messy.
Yeah, and it's not a thing where like it's a. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it's not a thing that's like a toggle for anybody who's like played the game or anything. It's just something that happens automatically, whether you're like getting like ready to shoot or just trying to attack without any like upper triggers like held. It just happens. It's just the way the game like tries to take priority in fights and make sure you're not like whiffing attacks like a maniac, which would look kind of funny, but yeah, it just makes it a little rough sometimes, especially in crowd fights too when there's a lot of enemies on screen. Sometimes you're just going to go into a place that you didn't want to. Instead of like the one enemy that you see that you want to pick off that's like all by its lonesome, you're going to go to that pack of 3, and that's just how it's going to be. But it's fine for the most part.
Yep. Obviously, like you can tell, this is like where this idea got started. This is like like a game back in the day where they're like trying out these new ideas.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I can't fault it too much because it's the first of its kind, so it's good. And like I said, the combat still in general holds up really well. So it's a 7, but it's a good 7. It's a 7 that I'd recommend. It's just that gotta expect a little bit of jank with it.
Yep, and also like a good time as well.
Oh yeah, it still holds up pretty good like visually for a PS2 game.
Yeah, it looks like pretty great, especially when it's like upscaled. The only other difference that I know is that I think there's like a few visual effects that didn't make it into the HD port, but it's just minor things. The other thing I do know is there was actually sound problems on the PS3 version of the HD collection, which they were able to fix it in the PS4, PC, and Xbox One versions of it.
Oh, what's wrong with the PS3 one?
There was sound issues. So there was like certain things that sound pretty off.
Like in cutscenes or just in general combat, or because I'm
pretty
thinking
much
if it's like a Sonic Adventure 2 thing where like for some reason the like sound mixing on those like HD ports is like god awful in cutscenes.
Yeah, it's similar to that on the PS2 version.
Now I'm just imagining the freaking fill your dark soul with light scene, but the sound editing is so fucked.
Imagine like that is like the
Oh man. But yeah, I've been rambling for a minute, y'all. Sorry. He's like, God, will this guy ever shut up? No. I was gonna say. So enough about me. What about you, man? How's your week, or rather 4 months been? Holy shit.
4 months?
Take your time.
You want me to talk about 4 months?
I mean, just anything substantial.
Oh my god, man.
Oh my god.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's kind of you to put the spotlight on me right here, but it's kind of too bright, man. A little too bright for my eyes.
You gotta dim it. I mean, you gotta have some highlights or footnotes. Cool things you did, anything.
Alright, so obviously, like, I've recently rebranded myself to Fatal Bracer Soul instead of Fatal Cutie Soul.
He has seen the light.
I didn't see the light. Thing is, I just want to stop selling like those Cutie Scout cookies.
Man.
Because I'm so tired of it, and friggin' Shurion keeps eating like all those boxes when I try to make money with it. It sucks. So I'm like, you
Man.
know what? I'm just gonna join this bracer program and become a bracer, like friggin' Estelle Joshua in Trails in the Sky.
But he's hitting the gym for now. He's doing bracer trading at the moment. I'm
Yeah,
also doing trading at the gym.
yes, we're both doing trading. So yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, because like currently at the moment, like both of us are just like hitting the gym because, well, we gotta like kind of make a difference for our bodies, right? So
Pretty much. Yeah, I think like tomorrow, or rather, I guess currently at the time of recording this, it's been like second day, but probably by the time it's up, it'll be like the fifth day or something. Who knows? Might take me a few days to get this out.
yeah. So the actual like truth is, besides the weird backstory I made, is I had fun with the name, right? But
Yeet.
I want
But
to add in
SNK
some.
Heroines is dead. Sorry.
Yes, it's really dead. Um, but no, I'm just like very tired of like people just adding me for SDK runs. But I'm good.
Mm. Wait, actually, were people adding you to like play the game?
No, but I think you know what I think people did during like Terry was out during Smash Brothers, being
Mm.
like, oh yeah, like hopefully you know your at name is like is a costume. I'm like, all
Yo,
right,
bro, can I tell? Oh my god, that Smash like reveal for Terry. God, that's another thing too that happened that was like dope. Terry's fucking great. He's
oh
probably like, my
yeah,
favorite
Terry's
DLC
fun.
addition. But holy shit, so many fake fans, so many fake SNK fans, bro. I couldn't
Oh my god, dude.
like listen, y'all. I gotta be real. I'm not like an elitist gatekeeper or anything. God, I'm still new to SNK myself. Like I'm the last person who should be even allowed to do that. But oh my goodness, I have at least like made the effort to play some of the oldies, some of the some of the goats, honestly, because those games still hold up pretty good. But like, oh my god, some of those people are just like they're talking like I remember making a tweet saying that, man, I've seen the my render for SNK Heroines go around in the last few days more than I've ever seen people talk about the game. What's up with that? I've seen that fucking image everywhere because of the whole like deal with like Smash was just for good boys and girls, which was actually just a translation thing. That was not Sakurai's actual words, which is hilarious. But that's a great meme nonetheless. But
Oh my
my
god.
god, just so many people. And then like with Terry, they're just like, oh, they want, like female Terry. And it's like, do half of you people even play? Did you like? I'm just like, listen. Did any of you even play the actual game where this shit's coming from? You probably didn't. You're not even
No.
asking for Terry and his fucking jacket in Garo. Like you're not even cultured, bro. Like I'm sorry. I'm just
Jesus.
like, I've never seen like I don't even know, just the most like head scratching opinions. I'm like, damn, y'all are recent. You're not old. You're recent.
And no, here's the thing, right? Is that I'm like, where the fuck were you people?
That's what I'm
Every.
saying. They weren't there.
I'm like, where the hell, like, were you? Like when I was playing SDK Heroines online for random matches.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like they weren't there for release. Like shut up. Half
Oh
you
my
guys didn't even
god.
buy the game.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's
Like,
like I'm not saying you have to say you want things, and like I don't want people to take the wrong for this. I'm mainly joking in some ways, but man, that was just funny. Just seeing people like asking for like anything related to SNK Heroines, and I'm like, damn, that's just because it came out recently. It's not because you know the history of Terry Bogard or any other character whatsoever. I
yeah.
at least had CVS2 under my belt. Good lord.
Jesus, dude. Like, it doesn't help that, like, what I was gonna say. Like, it became, like, so tiring to the point where, like, that's also part of the reason why I changed, like my name as well.
Yeah.
But however, like the real reason, like, before I get to that, is that like it just became so tiring. Like it came to the point where like I had to like mute the words "my" and "my Shiranui."
Seriously, it was ever. Granted, the fan art was great. Any fan art that showed up for it was freaking hilarious. But
Oh
yeah,
god, dude, it became like so tiring to the point where like This is coming from someone where I'm not a huge fan of mime, and I get actually very annoyed. Like whenever I ask someone, "Is that so? What's the first SNK character do you know?" Obviously, either it's like Kyo or Terry, probably Halmar, or the dude from Metal Slug or the Metal Slug tank.
Yeah, or in my weird
But
case, like the first one that I knew. Actually, I'd say Metal
mhm.
Slug. Well, the first character I actually got like attached to was you already know was like Yuri from
Oh
CVS two.
yeah,
But
that
yeah,
th-
everybody has theirs.
yeah. No, like your choice, man. You're like that was like the most underrated like first thought of like SNK character ever. Because anytime I asked to be like, oh, I know the red ninja chick or whatever, I'm like, oh, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's like you can just tell it's like the casual fans, and there's nothing wrong with that. But man, it's like there's so many like that. I think the thing that makes it worse, right, is that after playing so many of those SNK games in like those last few months, the thing that makes that worse is the fact that of all the series to just like have like the one female character everybody knows is a travesty for SNK games, let alone fighting games. Every character design is almost like a fucking 10 out of 10 or a 9 or like worst case scenario on a bad day an 8. Like all those characters are fucking great. Like you're going to tell me everyone's complaining about fucking fucking Mai not making it, and I'm over here just enjoying the fact that we got cameos from fucking Rock, Yuri, and Blue Mary, and I'm like, man, y'all need to just need to
Fuck, dude.
stop complaining. Like, there's so many good characters from
I,
SNK. Like, why is this the only one? Man, people just love the titty. But other characters got the titty too, so it makes no
dude,
sense.
dude, and here's the thing: is that like I would have laughed my ass off more if they just like added Shermie like into that cameo.
Yeah.
Like, and holy shit, that would have like pissed them off so much.
Oh
But
man.
it's pretty much to the point where like the way like I view mime like in SNK games is she is pretty much like the equivalent of how when you ask what's your favorite like Gurren Lagann character.
Oh my god, that hurts. Oh,
Yeah,
you're so right. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it.
yeah. So besides dealing with that travesty, and also by the way, please play Terry. He's a very fun character. Even if you don't know him, just gotta play him. Damn it, he's a
Oh my
friggin'
god,
fun character.
seriously get on that shit. Like he's super fun. Like I was mentioning this too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he feels better than Ryu or Ken for me because I can't get used to like their pressure sensitive like shit. It just feels so weird to me, especially on normals. I like how Terry like, well, yes, you gotta hold the buttons for like your special moves if you want to make them stronger. I'm okay with that. It just always felt weird to do for normals. Like with Ryu and Ken, I could not get used to like doing the combos in my head because it was so sensitive. Like you'd either have to do like a short tap or a hold, and then remember exactly how to do it right every single time. And it's like this just doesn't feel like Smash Bros. At this point. It just feels like a completely different game when try to put him in like that. But Terry feels like he belongs and has a little bit of the fighting game inputs with him. You know, it feels like a good mix in between. Whereas Ryu and Ken for me was like too far in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and the thing with like Ryu and Ken is anytime when I play them, I'm still getting I get like those like awkward memories whenever I try to play like Street Fighter 2 on the Game Boy. And those are like the exact friggin' controls you had to play Street Fighter 2 on the Game Boy. Is you have to be
Yeah, I've heard
like
about that
ve-
port.
you have to be like very pressure sensitive in order to put out which normals he wants, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's
And
just weird. I can't get used to it.
yeah, with Terry on the other hand, is since like like Sakurai has been inspired from SNK from like he took like most of the mechanics from various SNK titles like mainly with like KOF with like short hops and rolls.
Yeah.
Literally, like Terry just fits in like a glove. Heck, if you like play like some of the fighting games that are like on the Neo Geo Pocket, right? Like you don't have to worry about two pressure sensitive stuff. Light and hard. That's it.
Yep. That's all it has to be. And that's the thing. Like, that's how I thought they were going to have the ring cut. But man, it was just so weird to me. I was like, I can't. Can't do it. But Terry's fun as hell. Shoutouts to Sakurai, though. Like, just going like, hey, man, this is going to be like over half an hour for this Terry Direct. Let me just tell y'all about the Neo Geo, how much I love this shit. Let me just do a classic run just so you guys can know how much ass Terry can just like destroy. He just massacred everyone. Oh my lord. Sakurai's like, nope, I got this. You're all gonna learn today. All you uncultured swines.
Dude, I was
So
I was like
good.
the happiest person like watching that stream with you live on your stream, because holy crap. Because I know
Seriously.
people like heard ahead of time that there was no character reveals during this.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck is gonna do? I'm like, bro, like my dude, my person, whoever.
I'm like, y'all don't know the bias. Like, that's the thing. Out of all like the little informational tidbits, I don't see nearly as many people mention that he was inspired by KOF. Like when I see like people talk about like the Smash Bros series, or talk about like how to explain, like whenever people do like reviews or retrospective like videos and stuff, they always do like the backstory of like Sakurai and whatnot, but they never mention that part. They never mention the game that inspired his like his game pretty much, because like all the short hops and like all those mechanics, like it's all there. Like it feels like a KOF game on purpose, but people just don't know it.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that recently, like freaking squad strike mode is just KOF mode right there.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. The only thing I would have said about the direct is just that he probably could have cut out the classic mode part. He doesn't need to do that again if he ever does any in the future. But it's fine. It was just a little bit of padding. It was still cool to just see the gameplay. I didn't mind. But I know for some people it's just like it dragged a little bit there, and that's fair.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, he's cool. But aside from that, did anything else happen for you after the whole username change?
Yeah,
Because then we just went on that massive rant.
yeah. So speaking of the username, so the real reason like why I changed it is,
Oh wait, sorry, I forgot. Because I need to put my 2 cents out there too. Mai Shiranui is fine. There's nothing wrong with her, but man, like that's the thing. She's just a character in this long-running franchise to me. But man, it's just like that's the thing. It's like, how do you blame a character for what like the community is? Like I don't know. It's just weird because I'm like it's just everyone else that's obsessed, but it's like I kind of find it hilarious. The part that kills me every time is Andy more than anything. Just not like there's something amazing about just like everyone's obsessed with everyone. Not me though, but almost everyone. You know, and Andy's just like, nah, I don't want that.
like every time he's like, nah, I'd rather just like focus on my ninja training.
Pretty much, like it's amazing, man.
Dude,
I love that.
Dude, your shouts like to that amazing like card in SNK All Stars where you see like Maya showing like a
Baby, and they're just like, oh my god, I didn't sign up for this. Those big bug eyes, I love it. Oh man. But yeah, no, just going back. I'm just like she's fine. It's just man, the fans are just like wild. But go ahead.
So the real reason like why I changed to Red is basically like of the bracer part I wanted to add in, I just wanted like to add in something that pays tribute to Falcom.
Hell yeah. Deserves it.
Yeah. So pretty much like Fatal is obviously like is for SNK, Bracer is for Falcom, and then obviously Soul is for Arxis.
Pretty much.
Yeah, which actually got inspired from like this one like a pro player named Tokido, which it's a combination. It's pretty much like 2 letters, and you just like combines like together. Which is pretty much just a KOF reference. So pretty much like I think the toe, I think it's like with the toe, and then ki is the kick,
Yeah,
and then do is the like whenever like you erase this doshita, like when he throws fireball.
yeah, okay.
So pretty much like it's just 3 things combined. I'm like, you know what, I can do that too.
God. That's the thing too. I mentioned to you and DM was like, I want to change my name as well at some point, but it's just hard because the BRB screen would still have the old username. I'd have to change like several things before I get to do that. So at some point.
Yeah.
But just that at that point, I need to like rebrand the whole channel to like make some like new art or some edits. So that's gonna take a minute. I definitely want to like commission artists at some point, but man, I got no money, so it'll be like that. I'm not definitely not planning on spending money before that move to Florida, but either way,
No worries. Like next year will probably be the VFX. Wait, whatever it is.
something. Honestly, that's probably the one reason I want to change the name too. Is that the VFX part? I made it as a reference to Beautiful Joe because I was like, fuck it. I think those powers are pretty cool. And I played like Mario and Smash Bros. Tourney, so that's where like the name came from. Back when I needed a tag for Smash Bros. Like local Smash Bros. Tourneys, and it drives me nuts how everybody flubs the VFX part. So I'm just like, all right, I gotta get rid of this. Everybody keeps messing up, and I'm just like, let me just put Marcos in there somewhere, and I'll figure out the rest from there. But man, that shit drives me crazy.
I know, right?
Except for Max. Max is like the only one. Like when I have it, when I've like resubbed or something, and he mentions it, it's like he gets it right every time. I'm like, thank God. Let alone like leave it to the editor to know how to say VFX without flubbing it.
It doesn't help. Like when I go onto YouTube, whenever like I see like what's on my homepage, like I see like a YouTube channel that has a video in the thumbnail that says VFX, being like, wait, did you upload something without telling me? And then it's just obviously just a video like with a bunch of like VFX artists like for movies and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, let me just avoid confusion. Let me just like, I want people to just address me as Marcos. You know, it's just like, just people, keep it simple. It's not that deep. Oh man, but yeah.
Also the joys of like I barely fit my new username like on my Switch.
Oh god, I didn't
Dude,
even. What is like the limit?
the limit is 10 characters, believe it or not, dude.
Yikes.
So I've managed to fit in Brace Yourself the entire thing in, dude.
Oh lord.
I'm
But as
like,
long as it works.
yeah, but I'm like, damn, that's like the first time like I've seen like dealing with like character limits for like a username like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing what is happening besides taking a turn like a quick detour like that is obviously I've been playing. I did have like my own like share of Falcon goodness as well, mainly with the Trail series.
Yeah, this man got to complete it all, whereas for me, I only just still getting started.
Hey, at the end, I was able to guide you at certain parts.
I know, but man, I'm still always gonna hold it against y'all when Vex is like, "Oh man, it's so great," just like seeing you freak out to that one cutscene or like having no clue what's going on, while me and Kiso are just laughing in the background. And I'm just like, okay, y'all enjoying this? Damn, y'all were one too. I see you. Like every time when I think of you guys getting out of me, that's always the message I think. It's like, man, they're just twiddling their thumbs. They're just enjoying how clueless I am right now.
Well, to be fair, is that I was like that like when you and Vex where we're both doing like Eastbook 1 and 2. I'm like,
Man.
Both of you are now going to expect a lot of things that are coming right at you.
Pretty much. Actually, is Vex still playing any East games or?
She actually like took a break because I think like if she told me like if she is playing like other games not to get like burned out, but
No, yeah, no, that's fair.
yeah.
I mean, I took a break between Origin and 3 as well.
Yeah, because I think I remember correctly, she was like playing through like Shadow Hearts, just because she wanted to check out that amazing underrated series.
Yeah, I've heard. God, I've only heard of it like a few times over the years, but God knows when I'd ever get to that. But I've heard, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep. One of the like the most interesting RPGs, not to mention horror JRPGs as well.
Yeah, you really don't like there's certain genres where I just don't see that mix, and I'm just like, man, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it again at least, because it feels like they tried once, like or like they tried like I guess Shadow Hearts had like only one sequel, right? Or did it have two?
It's actually 3 games. First came Kodeko, on
Hmm.
on the PS1, published by SNK, by the way. Then goes from Shadow Hearts 2, and then there was also another Shadow Hearts game that people say is either like a spin-off or a sequel. Well, that's about it. Also,
Mm.
forgave me effects of like mispronouncing Quick Hold Echo, because I know that's like a very Welsh name right there.
uh, man. But
Yeah,
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 no, I've been curious about that.
yeah. And the other like a JRPGs, I mean horror JRPGs that I know is definitely goes to like um Sweet Home, which eventually became Resident Evil,
Yeah,
and Parasite Eve, which it had so many potential, but
man, dude, that's the one series I haven't played, but I've heard so much about is the Parasite Eve games.
dude,
God,
Parasite Eve 1 is definitely the best. 2 is pretty okay. But the problem is it acts more like Resident Evil rather than the RPG part in the first
yeah,
game. And then it pretty much just like crash and burn with the third birthday.
dude, I've heard Wooly complain about that on his podcast with Pat. Like I think like a few months ago, I just heard him lamenting it and just going on a fucking rant. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
that's oh boy.
just everything what he said is pretty much sums up my feelings for the third birthday right there.
uh Gosh, well, what a shame, man. Like, I'd rather have a series like have like an unreleased sequel, but at least it went out with some dignity, than seeing something just get completely mangled before it's done.
Yeah, and it's a shame though because again there was like a lot of potential, but somehow they just could not do it. Like
Yep.
literally like the first game, it's like a blend of like Resident Evil, but mixed with some Chrono Trigger.
Hmm. Sounds pretty good though, actually.
It's
Damn, I gotta
actually
get on that.
it's actually one of the best. It's like one of the best combinations that I never asked for, but I had to check it out.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
and also like when you get the time to get to it, I do recommend reading the novel. Which fun fact, the first game is a sequel to the novel.
The first game? Oh wow. So
Yep.
the novel's the prequel to everything.
Yep, that's where the idea started.
Huh, interesting. Was it like a prequel that came out before the game? Like, just kind of retroactively was a prequel, or
Like the novel came out first, and
okay.
then that's when like the game came in.
Hmm. Okay.
What else I was gonna say is that oh yeah, back to Trails is so obviously like I went through like Trails, um, went through like the Cold Steel games, obviously like Cold Steel 1 and 2, which the first game went pretty smoothly, while the
Mm-hmm.
second game I had obnoxious problems. And just in case you're wondering, I was playing like the PC port of it.
Yeah.
And oh my god, dude. Like that game, like there's like a certain area, like in that game where it would love to crash whenever like I do enemy encounters.
Hmm.
And that sucked ass.
Was it like towards the beginning or the end of the game?
It was like now here's the weird thing is that it's only just whenever like you enter in that area. Like it doesn't matter if you just start it or finish it or if you're like going back
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Like whenever it's just in that certain area, which I can't explain, but I'll explain like better, like once you get the coast still too. It pretty much like it sucked ass, and there was like some other weird problems where I just had to like, you know, save constantly and
Yeah.
hopefully continue my progress. And then after that, like I did the crossbow games, which obviously I did the old translation of Trails to Zero,
Yep.
which funny enough I didn't have any problems. The only weird problem I only encountered was I was like in this elevator and it had like this Cthulhu looking text. And I realized, oh
I think
yeah,
Vex mentioned it too.
yeah. The problem was is that I had to like activate like like my Japanese locale emulator. It's a thing just to make the game think you're running on a Japanese PC, so it puts like the correct characters.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Because like when you play the game, like obviously like on your usual North American settings or whatever, like it will freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then once I got to Azure, which Azure had a great time with it, but thing is that I know everyone loves that game, but
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that kind of soured my experience with it is I had so many fucking bugs and problems.
Yikes.
And I think it's due to like certain things that I did with my emulator.
Yeah.
But hopefully it doesn't affect it too much. Like the best feedback I can give you when to get to Azure is never save state, because apparently this game has a sensitivity issue when you save states.
Oh boy. Okay, so I guess just manual saves the whole way through.
Yep. But thankfully you can still use Turbo though.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be fine for that at least. But yeah, I was gonna mention that too, I guess, for context for anybody listening in. So I did the Sky Trilogy, and I should be on cross-develop, but I'm not yet, because of what he mentioned before. There is a Geofront patch coming out that's basically a fan-made patch from some people of the community that are doing God's work, honestly, because I thought it was just going to be a simple translation patch and that's it. I did know that they were going to add the turbo mode. That's really great in the PC versions that Xseed has done for a lot of the Falcon games, where, or at least the Trails games in general, where the turbo mode in those games is so great because it doesn't fast forward the music and dialogue and everything. It just fast forwards like the actual in-game speed, which is fantastic because I've never seen like turbo modes do it like that until I played that game, because I'm so used to games just doing turbo mode in like the lazy way where it's just great. I can't hear the soundtrack while I do this either. Yeah. Fantastic. And I'm just like, I guess I'll die. But no, that patch is looking amazing. Not only did they do that and added the turbo mode, they're adding a whole bunch of stuff like an actual text log feature if you want to go back and listen to dialogue that you missed, or maybe you need to like just listen to it again because it might have went over your head for a second. You can like change the music to like Evo versions or other versions. Like it's nuts. Even the controller inputs are properly displayed in game. Like they're just going above and beyond what I ever expected them to do, and it's coming out soon. They did say in the latest blog that their goal is January, so I'm looking forward to that. If it doesn't happen, it's early February, then I'll take it. But that's the main reason I'm also doing the East series as well, is because I'm waiting for that patch to come out before I check that game out.
Pretty much. Who knows when it comes out?
Man.
I mean, in case if it gets delayed, I'm gonna let my ass off if it comes out on Valentine's Day. Because you know what's gonna happen on Valentine's Day, right?
We're all gonna watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie instead.
Yeah. Because I remember you say like you're gonna be like streaming like this, like as soon as possible when it comes on the first day, right?
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day, that you're gonna be like way too busy with that Sonic movie.
Oh man, no, but I do remember in their latest vlog they did mention January is their goal, so I hope they can reach it.
Yeah, and again, best of luck to them. Also, I'm super grateful for them of doing the button problems, because one of my pet peeves when it comes to like any PC ports of PC gaming, I really hate generic PC inputs icons.
Yep, or the worst case scenario, seeing keyboard prompts and I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, whenever I see like buttons like 1 to 10 or whatever, I'm like, guys.
Yeah, I'm like playing E3 and it's like, granted I know it's an old port, but it's like, oh, press escape. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh man, like whenever like I see those prompts, those are like designed for like older like PC controllers that had like actual numbers on them before they implemented like the Xbox ones.
Pretty much.
Oh jeez. So, but props to them, of like, being more than just a patch.
Yeah, they're really doing way more than they need to.
Yeah, with
but I'm not complaining.
yeah, speaking of which, is that speaking of like patches that are more than a patch, is shouts to the guys that did the translation patch for Sakura Wars on the Saturn.
Yeah, that came out recently too. God, it's so weird. Like the last few days, even freaking Isin, the Sonic Kiseki like game or like crossover game. Apparently, that's also getting a translation too. And I'm like, what is happening? Like everything's just getting these translations that I'd want to check out. Oh Christ!
Like here, oh my god! Like I was gonna say is that I'm like finally someone is doing like the translation for like East versus Trails.
God.
I'm looking forward to see like how the actual story is, besides seeing just characters' art and just trying to figure out what they say. But
Yeah.
what I will warn you is that in case you're planning to stream that, expect a poor man's Power Stone. That is not
Oh
fun.
yeah. No, I remember you mentioned that. I expect it to be jank and pretty questionable, like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, and also a very disappointing Ray roster as well. Like you're gonna really hit the roster when you when you play the
Yikes.
game.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there. Oh man, I can't wait for that. I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah, because there's like so many characters, especially many characters that I want to be playable in this game, ended up as fucking summons.
Oh my god. There's one in particular that I have a feeling is gonna happen, but I won't say it. Cause man, you ever hate those situations where you're like on a like confirm or deny like question, and then it just no matter what you say you lose. Like no matter what you say, if I ask about this character, it'll be like shit. I'll get an answer, you know.
Well, I was gonna say like if you want to ask it right now, I can answer that to get it out of the way.
No, no, no. I'm not gonna ask it because I'd rather leave it. I might as well have that disappointment be like raw when I play that game whenever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I remember like our Twitter buddy like Roy was playing the game a while ago. Ask him, so how goes the poor man's Power Stone? Not fun. Oh man.
Some games, like honestly, that's the thing. Sometimes you play trash just for the fan service. Like you really do.
Yeah. All I can say is that like the concept for the game has like so many potential, but it just fall flat sadly.
God. It sucks too, because those two series, like, man, there should be a crossover. And yet it just never happened again.
I know, like, oh man, it sucks though.
I still want SNK versus
Falcon.
Falcon. Yeah,
Please let it happen. Please, please, make it fun and right.
God, that was like my favorite part of 2019. Like the releases for the year were like, okay. I mean, they're really fun. I still remember my favorite time with the Switch. It was funny. It's like, man, I'm not touching this thing for months on end because I'm playing like the Trails games and like Falcom and then like Doom on PC. And then for like a glorious 2 months, I'm just like Astral Chain and Three Houses just alternating any chance I get. That was like really fun. But man, like Falcom and SNK was probably like the best part of the year. So Falcom SNK needs to happen, please.
Yes, SNK versus Falcom needs to happen. Like, you need to have like a really good roster, especially on the Falcom side, because just to make it from a disappointment for like East versus Trails like roster.
Yo, watch him put like Jose as the like 5th character trail. I'm gonna be like, yo, fuck this game. I'm not playing.
No, and the funniest part is like we get like Gilbert for free.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, wait. That's fucking perfect. Listen. Oh, that makes Christ. Okay, let me explain. So, one of the games that I did play a tiny bit of, I haven't been a lot of progress. It's just like the game that I'll play on the side. Who knows whenever I have free time. Maybe like when I'm editing this podcast and it takes a minute to like export, like half an hour or something. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm not going to stream, so I'm going to play a game. I did start playing Disgaea 1 complete last year, just for a few hours. I haven't made a lot of progress.
Yep.
But, man, I forgot, since I haven't played much of, like, the Disgaea series. I only played, like, 5. A little bit with my sister. I forgot that you have to name the units that you make. And, long story short, the units that you can make, they all have terrible stats at the start. it costs like more. I think it was like AP or something that you get like through battles if you want to make better ones with less negative stats. Because essentially, imagine this: like you start a character and you make like a warrior or something, and they need to have a 5 stat like deficit, so you have to get rid of like either strain for magic, like you just gotta like spread it out, but it has to be -5. And the title that they put for them is good for nothing for the ones that start off like with the worst stats possible to start. And since you can name them, oh my god, I kind of had fun with that shit. I called my good for nothing warrior Gilbert.
That
I called
that's
one
amazing.
I called the female warrior that's good for nothing, Nanase from Under Night. I'm just like,
Oh my god,
let me just name for all the characters that I hate. Oh man,
dude, that's like the best OTP right there.
Christ, it's
The
so
best,
funny.
best OTP like for the characters we both hate.
God,
But I love
but
the
no,
Gilbert,
that's been
though.
fun so far. Yeah, man,
Good old Gilbert though. Always the butt end like of every joke.
pretty much, man.
So,
Oh wait, I forgot to mention too,
mhm.
though. I guess if we're talking about Gilbert, man, Sky the Third, that juice really kicked in. Jesus Christ, if we're talking about graphical bugs from before, I've made like highlights on my Twitch. If anybody wants to find them, you can't miss them.
Dude, you
A
gotta
lot of
like
them are
watch
caps.
these. These are like the most magical like bugs and glitches I ever seen like for a Trails game, especially in
It's
this
so
E6
bizarre.
engine. And the best part is like this man took a screenshot and made a goddamn
A
meme
fucking
out of
meme
it.
out of it. It's so good, man. Good lord, Sky the Third was already like really fun, but Jesus Christ, that's just funny. That's just a personal moment. Just like, man, I'm never gonna not associate that with the game. Christ.
Dude, I love how like it's slowly coming in like in your like today's like session of E3 slash Ultimate Felghana when you're just about to when you're like in that area with the castle.
Oh yeah, they said my foot. I'm like, oh god, is it happening again? For a split second, my mind is just like, please no.
Oh, jeez. But
Man.
yeah, but no. Thankfully, those are just like very hilarious glitches. Though, actually, speaking of glitches, is that during with Azure, right? Is I'm not gonna say like what happens in this bug, but the thing I will only say is that there is like a bug where it almost gave me a heart attack. By the way,
Oh boy.
it came to a heart attack where like it blocked my progress.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it one of those that like looks like it might be stuck? Cause holy shit.
It was just I'm just like on this dialogue, right? And
Yeah.
I was stuck on this dialogue. I was like smashing buttons, like doing whatever, right? And I could just not seem to friggin' progress. So this is gonna sound pretty weird for anyone that's listening. So check this out. In order for me to like progress and finally beat this game before jumping on the cold, before getting like at least some rest to jump on the Cold Steel 3, is I did everything. Like I decided to like change to an older version of the PSP emulator. Everything, nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So the solution is put the game, transfer my save file, play it on my fucking phone, get through that part on my phone. Once I got,
oh boy.
once I'm clear with that part, transfer that save, and then progress the rest of it like on my PC.
Oh my god, man. What the I mean, I guess that's one way to do it, but yikes, bro.
Dude.
And that couldn't work for me as someone who streams the games. Oh my god.
Dude.
At least you had a way out.
Yeah, that's the thing is that if I was streaming this, that would be like the most disaster thing ever. Like,
Well, granted, I could find the way because I have a Chromecast and I can find the way, but man, that'd be cursed. I'd rather not.
I'm just like praying that it doesn't happen to you, man, because
I hope to God. Yeah.
If it happens, then we just present a PowerPoint slideshow of what happened during your mobile run.
Oh man.
Oh man, and that was like the most heartbreaking like bug I ever had to do, but thankfully I was able to fix it.
Yeah.
Jeez, but like I said, is that like with Azure, I had a good time with it, loved the soundtrack and stuff, but I would have loved it as everyone else if my experience was soured by those bugs.
Yeah.
And oh, actually, I forgot to mention the other bug is when I was like at the end of the game, like I believe at the final chapter,
Yeah.
and for some reason, like there's like this one area where I can go in normally, like everything is all fine. For some reason, this area would fucking crash anytime I do enemy encounters.
Christ.
And it's only that area. Like,
just giving you a hard time for no reason.
Yeah, it was just it was like very unnecessary, but then again that's my fault for like using save states that might have like broke the game, but basically the point is that I love Azure, but
yeah, but that's the thing, you can't really can't find the right word for it, but you know, like you can't distance yourself from the experience that you had to go along with it. I know sometimes you were like put that aside, but it's like, listen, that's how you play the game. If you had a rough time with it with bugs or something, it's just that also kind of factors in.
Yeah, and it came to the point where like if I'm gonna like replay this game again, I am super fucking happy that freaking those crossplay games are getting like a PS4 re-release.
Oh yeah, man, that happened too. Oh my god. Yeah, we got like so much weird news in those last 4 months. Like also got like a bit of information on like the game after Cold Steel 4, but I'm like, man, that's so far in the future that I'm not even like thinking about it nearly as much.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that like I would love to talk about it, but like I said, you still have like a way to go.
Oh yeah. I know, god. I'd love to just like say like, nah sis, screw Yakuza 0, we ain't doing that. Oh, by the way, yeah, I started playing Yakuza 0, that's also great. God, a lot of shit happened in those months.
So many things happened. Like, speaking of like of trails, is that this is up to Azure. I actually got the Coastal 3. Speaking of Coastal 3, is oh yeah, remember like a few episodes ago where I got like the shipping cursed with like Canadian shipping over here.
Yeah, oh man.
That happened to me once again with Cold Steel 3. And the only difference is that I'm not the only one affected. Like,
yeah.
When it comes to Bloodstained and Summer Showdown, I felt like I was the only person that got affected by that. With Cold Steel 3, like, many peeps that I know, shouts, to the Falcom and Trails and East Canadian peeps out there on Twitter.
Yeah, that shit's rough.
Like,
and I felt so bad too because I got my copy earlier than you or Vex, and I'm like, that's fucked up. I can't play this game yet, and yet I have it for you guys. Like, I hated that. I genuinely hated that,
dude. Yeah, no. Here's the thing: is that I also got a little bit upset. Like when I saw like Roy just like installing Coastal 3, being like, "Man, I gotta wait for this update." I'm like, "At least you're waiting for an update."
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what was me?
Dude, like, but in the end, I'm just glad, like, me and the rest of the Falcon Canadian peeps on Twitter, we were all in this together, suffering together, man. Like,
pretty much.
Like, shouts, to like the freaking Right China, who was just like managed to get her copy like with no problem. She had to like suffer for her copy. And then I believe this other person, we follow each other, who lives in Newfoundland. He was actually the last person that I know to get the game after me.
Damn, the last person.
And that's like all. Like, keep in mind is like I live like pretty much like in Western Canada, while this dude lives like all the way to the freaking east. Like,
man.
Like, oh my god, dude. Like, we were all suffering together, being like, where the fuck is our fucking Cold Steel 3 for us Canadians?
It exists, but it also doesn't. Oh, man.
But besides that, like, I just had a blast going through.
Would you
I'm
say
just,
it's your game of the year, or would you still give Sam Show that?
you know, that's a really good question. My game of the year. Uh, wait, goes to Virtual Highline. I'm just kidding.
Damn. All right.
But if
Podcast is over, everybody. I gotta go. I'll see you later. Good night.
all right, my career's ended on this podcast. See you, everyone. But to be real, is that it's definitely like a tie between. I would say yeah, it's definitely like a tie between like Sam Show and Cold Steel 3. If we're talking about like games that came out like this year.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like I even mentioned that on the stream after playing I think finishing Trails of Sky Third. I was like, man, I like it's so weird to make that list because I made a list on Twitter. I could probably link it in the description, I guess, of like the show if anybody wanted to see it. But long story short, like Three Houses ended up being like my first with like Samurai Show that at like a very very close second, and Luigi Mansion 3 like on third for like top three. But man, I in my heart I knew like, listen, if I got properly caught up, Cold Steel 3 would win by a landslide, like free. Like
Yeah,
just for me, I know like already how much I love this series without playing the rest of them. Like I know this would be the best experience I would have had all year. Because the best experience the best experience I had all year was Trails of the Sky second chapter, and the third, and Origin, and then like first like because then I made the real game of the year list for the games that I played in 2019, and those were like top four free.
yeah,
Falcom completely took it.
yeah. Like actually, you know what is that? If I were to be for my game of the year that I played this year, like obviously like not by like games that are released.
Yeah.
Obviously goes. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm putting in DMC5 Bloodstain, just because they're really freaking good games.
Oh yeah, I love those games.
Obviously Sam Show, and then
Or rather, Bloodstone. I haven't played 5 yet, but yeah.
yeah, and then obviously I'm just gonna add like this stacked catalog of Trails games that I marathon through. Those are also my personal game of the year for 2019.
I'm just imagining like if you did like the same two like images that I did in like Photoshop, you'd be like, all right, these are the ones that came out in 2019, I guess, and then here's just immediately like deleting all the layers for like the game logos and just being like, all right, all Falcom.
Literally, it's just a stack of all the Trails games that I played.
And then like at the bottom 10, you'll see like Samurai Shodown is here.
No, here's the thing: is I put Samurai Shodown on top just because. Yeah, so pretty much like let me just count. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0. Azure.
That's like 8 games on your top 10 list.
Literally, that's like 8 Trails games. And I was like so proud to put on Twitter being like 2019 is like the year where I just marathoned like a damn good series. I never need that. Like I never need in my life, but I do.
God,
and
I'm
just, like,
so
a whole
envious because
stack.
I'm like, man,
Like
the joys of having a sister and Shin doing Doom. I wish I could have said fuck it.
yeah, but what can you do, right? But
Yeah.
but damn it, I love the Trail series so much. Like best way like I can say is it's a series where it filled my void, like for another game that's like Suikoden, and along with a cast of characters whom I'm gonna like love and remember as much as FF6.
Pretty much. And man, I get that same excitement, like at least for me, like with only having been playing the Sky Trilogy and a little bit of Cold Steel 1. But that doesn't really, I don't really count that since, it's not properly streamed and everything, and it's been a long time. But man, I guess going off on a slight tangent, I get that same excitement I did when I first was playing the Yoko Taro games, because that was like the first reason I went back on Twitter. Like I made a Twitter like, oh god, back in like 2015, it must have been like 2013 or something. Like I made it like years ago and just never used it. But what finally got me back into like using Twitter was because I was like, okay, I'm starting to stream consistently. Holy shit, Yoko Taro games are pretty dope. Let me find some people who like them. And everybody was like on the same page. and I was just like, great, everybody loves the series for what I do. It's perfect. Like the Persona series is not what I was expecting at all for the community. It's just like, oh, we're just not compatible, like
Yeah.
almost at all. So it was great to go back to the Trail series, like this big JRPG series, and being like, oh my god, yes, everyone likes these characters for the same reasons I do. Sometimes there are like some dumb arguments. Apparently, Cold Steel 4 is disappointing, which people are fucking dumb.
Actually,
I haven't even played them, and I know people are crazy.
Yeah, and also my favorite argument is, what's gonna get localized first, Eastland or Cold Steel 4?
God,
I'm like,
yeah, it's like
no
I
one.
don't care.
I'm like, no one fucking cares, dude. Like, you know what? I was tempted like to make a photo, to make like a meme edit of the Civil War meme. But wait, for those two guys, I'm like, nah, I'm not. It's not worth
Yeah,
it.
I'm like, hey, can I just get a Falcom localization, please? Like, I made a joke once, and like people were like on my ass saying like, oh man, Cold Steel 4 is like so unrealistic right now. It's like, it was just a joke. I made a joke saying like pretty pleased with a shiny palm on top. Like, are you taking this seriously?
Oh my god.
I was like, what the fuck? Like seriously, Twitter and like just having like these like shorthand things. Like sometimes you're just like, nah, just miss the mark.
Yeah, but in the end, like, at least we were able to meet like amazing people that are into Falcon games. I mean, shouts, like to Vex, for getting us on the Trails train.
Nah, I can't give her credit for that. Shout out to Jason Schreier and Shin, because I got into it with a freaking Kotaku article of all things.
I know. And
but also, I mean, shout outs to Vex for always showing up though and being a fan too.
Yeah, and also keep reminding us like we should play some Trails.
Man.
And also shout out to lots of to many of the awesome fan artists, including like Raichana, for making like those like amazing like Falcon merch.
God, I want to buy them so bad, especially the New Year charms are so freaking cute. I want to buy them, I just don't have the money. Oh, it hurts.
Yeah, but wait, when you have the money to buy them, I can tell you these are really really good quality. Like I have like this Shara keychain.
Yeah.
That it's still pretty good. Like still pretty good quality. Like it's always like gives me a smile whenever like I'll unlock my door.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I definitely want to like get them too, because I knew another artist that did like a lot of Yoko Taro stuff, so I always have this little standee of Mikhail and like Zero that I always like have nearby. So like whenever I'm just like struggling with editing and just like, man, I feel like death, I just like looking around and just being like, oh, it just reminds me of happy thoughts. Good lord.
Yeah.
Happy foul mouth thoughts of Zero, because I love that game. But no, I definitely want to buy some of that stuff because it's just nice to look at and like have around the place.
Yeah, and it's also like a pretty awesome like when you have like those keychains around.
God, I can't get over her. God, the freaking Santa Kevin. Just
oh my god!
Me.
Literally, that was just like a freaking dumb joke I made like in her freaking like art stream on Twitch.
God, like I'm gonna miss that Twitter icon.
Dude, that was like the best, dumbest idea. I'm like very happy it became a thing.
Yeah, for those who don't know, there was like a little bit of like a meme going on where certain characters would have like. Mm-hmm. Well, if you could explain it.
Yeah. So what happened is that like my good art friend Ray Chana. She was doing like an art stream, right? And she was like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm live on Twitch drawing Santa Kevin. So I just went
and y'all just like hopped in and sabotaged.
So I went in there, right? And then I'm like, that's a pretty good, art of Santa Vash right there. You know what would be pretty good? You should make like multiple Santa hats per spike. And then just hearing her reaction being like, that is too much. That is way too much. and then after a while, like I think I like went to eat or something, right? And then I think on the same day, like when I pop up on my Twitter, I'm like, I can't believe she fucking did it. I can't believe like I influenced everyone in the fucking chat room to draw like to draw that stupid idea right there.
God, I'd believe it because I saw some other memes like going around. Like I think there was like a Pokemon like Snom that was like a little bug. It just had multiple Santa hats on it, which is like I don't know who started that trend, but Christ, it's funny.
Dude, literally, it was the greatest thing ever, though. Like, oh man, it's
Man,
well, like one of the best things like to come out of like the holidays last year.
yep.
So, besides like that, obviously been playing, you know, been messing with some video games. Got some good deals during the Boxing Days and the Black Fridays. Got
Nice.
myself one of them fancy Genesis minis.
Oh
Which,
yeah, then you hacked like crazy. The freaking
dude,
I'm just looking at the Homer with caramel and the
when the
cotton
floodgates
candy.
were open, I just instantly thought to myself, like the one episode where like Homer and like and the kids like bought like Marge like a carnival home machine, and he just like had to do like a science experiment of like trying to make like the best cotton candy ever. Literally, that was like me, like with my hack to like do a Genesis mini, being like, you know what, I'm gonna add this, put some 32X games, put some Sega CD games,
Pretty much, like
and
fuck it.
and just in case anyone's wondering, is that the first game I tested out was with E3, just to make sure like it works,
Yeah.
and then the first Sega CD game I tested out was Popful Mel, like the most underrated Falcon game that all you like Falcon peeps that really need to play very soon.
Yeah, which will be happening on my channel at some point. I don't know when I'll fit it in, but yeah, I don't think I mentioned it here. I mentioned it on stream before, but like back when like Twitch wasn't even a thing, and it was like either Ustream or Justin TV. I forget which one, but I remember seeing someone like stream a run of it like years ago. Oh my god, like in freaking internet infancy. Jesus Christ. But I thought the game was like super cute, but I hardly remember anything. So at some point, I'll check that shit out. But that was like the first Falcom game I technically ever saw without knowing it was Falcom.
Yeah, and to be very fair, is that that was also like the first one that I know along with eSbook 1 and 2.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely like was a mix of like eSbook 1 and 2 and along with Powerful Mill. And then later on I will like discovered like Fox Xanadu. I would realize like Fox Xanadu was also a Falcon game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyone that's like playing like Falcon games and just wants something to play, told you over until like Eastland or Cold Steel 4. You gotta play some Powerful Mill. Like I know you got like I know like you're like other games to play, but just play some Powerful Mill.
Oh, dude, that reminds me of that freaking like little wager we had for like East Origins. Like, how much you want to bet people will show up more
Oh my
for the
god.
more modern shit, right? Because it's like some people just don't watch retro games anymore. It makes me sad.
Yeah, no, here's the thing is that like when you were streaming like eSbook 1 and 2, I'm
It
like,
was just you mainly, and like Rondrix a little bit.
yeah, like here's the predictor, it's going to be me and then Rondrix like here and there. Obviously sure yeah, whenever like streaming is on like friggin'
Yeah, like Shreon
stupid.
Vex and like okay, just showed up like a little bit.
Yeah, I do know like a Vex like show up like
Which, granted, I appreciate all you guys showing up because I know Shred and Vex are gonna listen to this too. I appreciate it, I do. But it's just funny how that worked out. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I also love how like Vex show up, for both finales of both East 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to let you guys know is that yeah, we had like a wager where like we're gonna predict like this Eastbook 1 and 2 it's gonna have like at least only me and probably a few other people.
Yeah.
But when this man gets to like East Origin and above, that's when like you'll get like the rest of the views.
Pretty much got even East like
East
3.
3.
Like we just started that. It's like okay, suddenly Camshack is here. Haven't seen this man in forever. Then Arcadius is here. Rondrix is here. Sweetest Game is here. Like someone else showed up too. I'm like, oh, Justly Belmont was also here. I was like 7 individual people showed up for Easter. I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Bro, like even like freaking like Bronco like showed up for East Origins. I'm like, yeah, we definitely made like the safest wager ever.
It's so free.
I'm not surprised. Like, you know what? I'll tell you this is that if you're gonna do like Xanadu, like you play fuck Xanadu first, it's gonna be like the same thing. Fuck Xanadu. This is gonna be like me the entire time. When you get to
Yeah.
Tokyo Xanadu, you will have like a lot more people watching it.
That is actually one thing I haven't mentioned. Along with East 8, like limited edition being there, I also got that game's like limited edition, like when it was on sale for like pretty cheap. So I do already have that game too. So that's a thing. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but
Oh,
that is also a thing.
you know what is that?
I've heard people like to rag on it, but I'm like, I gotta give it the honest shake.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing: is that like I know you're gonna get like a consistent views for like probably for like E6, E7, E's memories of this Alsada.
Yeah.
However, I'm not gonna be surprised when you have like 20 or so freaking people for like E6. It's gonna be like that.
God, yeah. Or when we get to like the Cold Steel games, oh man.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna be shocked with like I think we'll probably have like a decent amount of like a view. I think you're probably gonna have like a decent amount of like viewers for like the Crossbow games just because you know it's Crossbow. But for
Yeah.
Cold Steel, just in before you get like 30
That's when
something.
it's like, ah, shit, the normies are here.
I'm like,
Not
yeah,
that there's anything wrong with that. It's popular for a reason. It's the most easily accessible one. If Falcom could make the other ones easily accessible, it's like, you know,
yeah,
then I'd be sus. But, you know, I totally get it.
yeah. We just like have like a little bit of entertainment with our wagers right there.
Yeah, it's just a little funny, but I'm by no means like, you know, saying that, you know, like everybody has their preference, right? There are some games that I don't tune into sometimes when I see like other people stream them, like I get it,
Yeah,
but it's just funny to me.
yeah. It's also very like funny for me as well, especially like as like a long time like Falcon fan. I'm like, yeah, I understand like where, you know, it's probably like you know probably either your first or you know where how you play these games, but you know.
Yeah.
So, what else I was gonna say before we get into the news is that, um, obviously like you know, I also played like some DK Tropical Freeze. I love the game on the Wii U. It's still pretty
Hell
fun
yeah.
on the go on the Switch, thanks to Boxing Day sale.
Yeah.
And pretty much was just Christmas and being alone during New Year's.
Dude, same. Oh my god, like parents, I thought we were gonna spend it as a family downstairs, and they took off to the grandparents' apartment, and Mrs. had no idea, so we're just left alone on New Year's. I was like, what the hell?
Well, I will say is at least you got your sister. But for me, like I was like,
Well, no, dude, that's the thing. She didn't even come downstairs or like watch the fireworks or anything. I was by myself.
damn.
Like the second I went to her room and saw like Happy New Year, she's just like, she was bummed out because like they weren't here. That because I was on spend that family, so she was just bummed out and like depressed. And I was like, well, I mean, I said Happy New Year. I don't know what to tell you. I can't help with that. I'm not gonna let it bring me down. But,
Yeah.
you know.
For me, like it was just like my room, and the only thing I can hear was just like small fireworks. Like there weren't like really big fireworks. It was just like small fireworks that sound like firecrackers. And that's about it. Only lasted for like I think 5 minutes, and that was it.
That sounds about right. The ones that did show up here lasted for about 15.
Yep. And then we are here in January, and obviously, both of us are you know jumping into the gym, or well, myself, I'm doing like some exercises at my quote unquote home gym.
Yeah. I've just been going every other day. Like I'm trying to do like 4 days a week, see if that happens. If work hours start piling up, it might need to be 3 days a week, but we'll see. But it's just mainly doing like a lot of cardio for now, just to get used to the gym and everything. Because I figure if I'm gonna be lifting weights, I might as well have my legs actually be ready for that shit. you know?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of it. It's a lot of form and like a lot of like proper stance. You know.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're screwed.
and not to mention like that cardio stuff going to help like your breathing as well.
Yeah.
Because
Because that's the thing, like as someone who's like
mm-hmm.
overweight, like it definitely helps to do cardio because it's like, man, even just like going outside or just like doing simple walks. Like I remember after like the second day of doing gym, I was like, man, going up those flight of stairs actually felt really easy now. You know?
I know, right? Like, I mean, for my situation, right, is that I'm actually like obviously like doing my journey of like getting muscles and obviously getting weight because apparently
Yeah.
I lost weight like during the past months,
Damn.
which it should not happen. I should like
Yeah.
obviously like I need to like get back to at least to a healthy normal weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like have like the similar feeling where after like I've been doing these exercises, right? Obviously I've been like consuming like more food than I haven't before. Because before, like, I used to have like trouble like finishing my food,
Mm.
but now I'm able, to like put in like way more meals, and
Yeah.
then more meals and snacks, and obviously like the thing that still weirds me out is that I'm able to wake up and not feel like shit, and early as well.
Yeah. Hmm. Who knows? Maybe it is because of the gym, or maybe
Well,
I doubt it's the food. Usually, food makes you more tired.
it's I think it's the case where like you know I'm just starting to feel like my body's starting to feel like more more great to the point where
Yeah.
like you know what I feel like walking or I won't have like any trouble like lifting like this certain thing.
Yeah. No, I feel it. And that's kind of the thing too. Like it's funny. My stepdad kind of interjected and said like like giving me the opposite advice like you should probably do cardio more than resistance training or like weightlifting right now. I guess because like the whole point is that you want to like lose the fat and like not build muscle because like at that point you're just trying to lose weight more than like actually trying to like potentially gain it. So it's like I get what he's trying to tell me. But it's funny because like you said like there's like an exercise bike in the house. Granted, it hasn't really been used. And so like you could use that instead of going to the gym. But I'm like, my dude, like Planet Fitness is only $10 a month. It's as cheap as it's ever gonna get to be able to do this shit. It has more machines to use in general, but I'll be real. It's kind of funny. I think before, if I ever thought about going to the gym when I was like really young, I think it'd be intimidating because I was like still kind of embarrassed about like being overweight. But nowadays, it kind of feels awesome to go to the gym every other day because like I see other people, sometimes even people that are kind of like me that are like not healthy, but they're still doing it. And I'm like, it's kind of cool because it's weird. I don't even like get into that mentality of like people kind of making fun of me for being overweight. I think it's that mutual respect of like, hey, listen, I'm overweight, but I'm at the gym. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing what I gotta do. They're doing what they gotta do. We're all doing this for self betterment. So nobody can say shit. Like we're all doing the right thing when we're
Yeah,
at the gym.
yeah, I know,
It's like a
right?
really good mentality.
Yeah, I know, right? Is that like I think like when I did like my last gym visit is I'm actually pretty surprised where it's just everyone is just minding their own damn business.
Yeah, nobody's being nosy. They're all just focusing on themselves. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn right. Nobody's there for, nobody's going to do it for you. You got to do it.
Yep. And what's more amazing is that like I think there was like one random guy that actually like gave me some helpful advice like how to use like the certain machine.
Nice.
And I'm like, man, I have like never like experienced like you know like having like an interesting time at the gym compared going to gym classes in high school. And gym classes
Yeah,
in
that's
high
the
school,
thing. Gym is way better than PE. Oh my god.
dude, I'm like, I wish I would have like learned like these certain exercises like during gym class. Cause holy fuck,
Seriously.
dude. Like, I'm not gonna get into it much, but the point is that like I had a crappy gym teacher. Um, most of my classmates obviously like made fun of me, especially for being like very skinny. Like that was like
Mm-hmm.
when I was still dealing with my eating disorder, like back in the day.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I think like the most hurtful thing is dealing with like the girl gym class just like shitting at me during square dancing.
Oh my god. I didn't even know gym classes had square dancing.
I was surprised it had square. I was surprised about that too. To be very honest. Like, oh my god, like it was just. I think like until grade 10, it was like every freaking December they had to do square dancing.
Christ.
And oh my god, I was like, I'm just looking forward to Christmas vacation.
Yep. That's the mood. Sometimes you're just like, I just can't wait for this shit to be over.
Yep. Cause goddamn, like gym class, like over like in my first high school, I could never win like with anyone.
Yep.
Yep. Came to the point where like I actually had to like go to my doctor to to quote unquote get the principal to graduate me from gym.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how horrible it was, man. Especially like for my mental state.
I believe it.
Yeah, but I will say is that doing like this exercise, even though like I'm not going to the gym, but I'm probably gonna go there eventually once like the weather's like not crappy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. At least you have the equipment. Like in my house, there's really nothing, so it's like.
Well, it's a mixture of
I'm
like.
just better off.
Yeah, it's a mixture of yeah. I know like for you, we'll really need the equipment. Well, for me is that since like I'm focusing on strength training, right? So.
Yeah.
At least I've
that's the thing. Strength training is probably that thing that's like you could probably do it like easily at home. Maybe just have the weights.
Oh yeah, not just weights. Is that like. Here's what I use, right? Is that. Like,
oh well, yeah, you mentioned like the gallons and stuff, yeah.
Well, no, here's the thing: is that like it's not just like using weights and stuff. You also can do it with your body weight as well, like push-ups, crunchies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite exercise to do, like, or should I say, like, without any equipment, is freaking the mountain climber. Mountain climber is like the funnest exercise I've ever done in my life, man. It's like
I don't think I actually know that one.
I guess the best way I can explain it, like for audio only, is basically like, you plant like both of your arms on the ground, like it's like you're doing like a push up, right?
Yeah.
The only difference is that you're moving your legs, acting like you're doing rock climbing.
Ah, okay.
And dude, like, yeah, you're basically doing rock climbing, and the funnest part is that like you go at a good pace, and then I like to challenge myself of going like super fast and fast until until like I feel that burn. And dude, I wish I would have learned it in gym class. God damn.
That's the thing, man. Half the times they don't even show you the cool shit. God.
I know, right? Like most of it is just like boring shit. Like. I mean, push-ups, I can get, because, I mean, push-ups is definitely, like one of the best bodyweight exercises, that you can do without, like, equipment. But then, one thing I'm actually very looking forward to, like, when the weather gets nicer is I'm definitely going to try to look for, like, a place at a park, probably at a playground, to do some pull-ups.
Yeah. God, that's the thing. I can't do pull-ups yet until I lose some weight. Man, that's a hazard waiting to happen.
Yeah, but you'll get there though. I mean, you get to the point where like you want to learn like both like strength training along with like calisthenics as well.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I definitely don't want to do like. I've seen people that have like too much cardio, and then it's like an issue, and I'm just like, I know I gotta like mix it in at some point. It's just getting used to it now. But man, the one thing that cracks me up though is like when I made that tweet saying that like the first time going to the gym, like 2 people told me to do like the keto diet.
Oh my god!
And I respect that, but I'm like, listen, I know, like personally for me, I'm of the belief that diets are terrible. They can work for some people. Like, no disrespect, those two said that it does work. Work for them, and it's like, God bless. I'm just trying to stay committed to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like eat better in certain areas, trying to find like good substitutes to not like, have to use up so many calories so I have like less to burn when I hit the gym. And I'm still just getting used to lifestyle, the lifestyle change more or less, but diet is way too extreme for me.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't want to have to like, as someone who wants to stream or do other things or like do like audio editing when I'm done, recording this with you, The last thing I want to do is go to the gym, feel satisfied working out, and then have to worry about making my own dinner because my parents didn't make the thing that was for my diet, right?
Yeah.
Because my
Mhm.
sister, oh, sorry, I was just gonna say too,
Yeah,
my
no worries.
sister tried the keto diet like a few months ago, and from an outsider looking in, I didn't know what was going on because she didn't tell me. And I was frustrated to see that she didn't eat anything that they made, or like, she wasn't eating anything that they bought in the house. And I was like, man, that's fucked up. And I know it's not her fault because she was trying to do this whole new thing, but it's a struggle to do on your own. Like a diet that's not like with the rest of the household on board. She, like, she said she felt miserable after all because it's like, that's the thing. It's just, it's so forced and it's so not what you're used to. And it becomes an inconvenience because then you got to do all your own shit. It's just not, it would discourage me from continuing more than anything.
Yeah.
It'd make me quit.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing is that like I mean, no offense to anyone like that's doing the keto diet, like more power to you. But for me, I always like face palm when
Yeah.
people like break up the keto diet.
I'm like,
Like
bro, I'm from a Hispanic family. They do like rice almost every single
yes,
day.
and here's the problem. Here's the issues I have with the keto diet is
You do
that
not recommend their keto diet to a Hispanic. Oh my god, you do
yes,
not.
here's the thing is that number one, it's a very fat diet of the generation. Like last generation was like the Atkins diet. Remember the fucking Atkins diet, dude?
It sounds familiar, but I can't remember.
That was like the last fat diet before keto came in.
Hmm.
But I do know like they're very completely different things, but there's still like a fad diet. It's like people like to do because it's a thing. But second is that never recommend that to eat either to a Hispanic person and or a black person either,
God, yeah.
because like if you look at like at Hispanic, if you look at like the dinners and stuff like you see it at like at a Hispanic household, you will never
It's so
escape
many carbs.
you will never escape, yeah, either the rice and especially the tortillas, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. For those that are like, the keto diet is something that's like very low carbs or almost no carbs. Uh, it's so extreme. Where I was like, I cannot live like that.
And here's the
Oh my
thing is
god, I
that you
can't.
need those carbs, to give you energy, like after the workout, man.
Yeah, like living off of like fat and protein is just like, no, no way, bro.
Nah, dude, that's way. And that's the thing is that like I said, it depends, like where your living situation is, right? But
Yeah, it might be feasible for someone, but definitely not for me.
yeah, like I said, if you're like a white person, like you're good to go. Like you can pretty much we can go with that diet if you want, but if you're planning, to do like some workouts, especially with cardio and stuff, then yeah, you need those carbs, to at least like stay sane, dude. Or else,
Yeah, the thing that oh, sorry, you continue.
oh no, it's like again, like I said before, is that if you're doing it, like you can go ahead, that's your business. But for me, I have issues with people like bringing up that diet, especially like for my man's situation lives in a very Hispanic house, so full of rice and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, granted, some people don't know. Like, there are people that like follow me on Twitter, so I'm not exactly speaking Spanish, like sending out Spanish tweets or anything.
Yeah, or
But
that, or like you don't have like the Puerto Rican flag on your Twitter handle.
yeah, and I'm like, I think it's cool though. If anything, I was just more happy to see, like, people responding to like something that's like fitness related, because I'm like, I don't tweet anything whatsoever about fitness, before making that tweet. So it's kind of cool to see people like supporting that, because that's the thing too, like it. I used to be like, and I mean, I still kind of am, because it's a problem. Let's be real. I'm still in some ways like ashamed of the weight because I don't want to have it. I don't want it here. It's something that nobody should ever have because it's unhealthy. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to so many other things. You owe it to your freaking future or whoever else is going to be in your life. It's a thing that has to go. Plain and simple. It's not like, that's the thing right now too that's like been driving me nuts, is that I've accepted my current situation, and like, I've tried not to let it get me down, but I'm also not supportive of like fat acceptance. Like people that just like say that it's fine and say that there's no problem with it, because honestly it is. It's a health hazard. You are putting yourself at risk with having this stuff. And I know for some people, they might not want to hear it like that, and they don't want to hear it so blatantly, but it's a fact. You got to make this shit go somehow, for your own good. That's what I personally believe. But it's at a point where it's like it's kind of cool to just say that it's like even if you are overweight, I think it, like I mentioned before going to the gym, I do like how there's like that support and like respect of seeing someone trying to do the right thing. So it's just really nice to see that support on Twitter. But I forget, I was gonna say something and I completely lost track of it. Ah, man, I lost it. But yeah, that was pretty much it for that.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say is that like
Oh,
I was actually pretty surprised that like when I was starting to like do some workouts, you also
yeah,
like joined it as well.
yeah, that was just completely by coincidence.
By coincidence, like we're like, you know what, we like I should work in January.
Yeah, because for me, it wasn't a New Year's resolution. I set her like at around like January 5th or 4th. I don't know, somewhere around there. The main reason I did it was because it seemed like a good time. Work hours were getting really slow, like 3 weeks in a row of nothing at the hotel for part time. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm tired of just sitting around and streaming all day. Like I love streaming, don't get me wrong, but holy shit, like staying indoors for so long just really gets to you. That's the
Yeah.
other thing too. It's like even if like my stepdad said like, oh, there's like an exercise bike right here, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but I want to get out of the fucking house. Like mentally, like it really wears you down after a while because you just feel like you're not doing anything. I mean,
Yep.
you are, but I don't know. Like it just feels like a bummer when you wake up for so many days. It's like, well, I'm still here. You
Yeah.
know. Oh, you go ahead.
I don't know. It's like I definitely like know that feel because like you definitely like because I mean like I was getting to the point where like I can stay inside like for so much to the point where like you know what, I need some sunshine, man. I need like
Yeah.
at least go out at least for a good while, like look at the trees and stuff. Maybe like discover some new places I haven't been before.
Pretty much.
Like yeah, and I think like the same goes for me is that this wasn't like a New Year's resolution because I know it's very typical like for anyone to make that. That's why like I never said it.
Yeah. Then that's the thing. I really don't do New Year's resolutions. It's like, why set yourself up for something that you might not even be able to do? Just have a vague goal for the year, but don't, you don't got to change your life around because I'm like, listen, that's a lot to ask for
Yeah,
some people.
for me, I do New Year's resolutions but I usually say different things though.
Mm.
But um, so the other thing is that like besides like I came to the point where like I want to look bigger. It's also
Yeah.
to do because like I also have like my self image like like how like uh y- you have like your own issues like being overweight and
Hmm.
getting like viewed as getting like getting teased and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
no, because that's the other thing too. I was gonna say.
mhm.
Was that the other thing was that there were no work hours. I'm also moving to Florida like in May or around June, somewhere around that point.
Yep.
And the thing is too, with being overweight is that let's be real, there's a stigma behind that. And very valid stigmas where it's like, oh, this guy's unhealthy, he's gonna be slow for work. He's gonna not be as productive as someone like if you were to hire somebody that's like fit, you'd think they'd get the job done, right?
Yep.
You hire someone that's overweight, you're thinking like, well, he's probably gonna get it done, but it's gonna take forever. I don't want that stigma, because that's the reality of the situation is even if I could transfer to another place, they're still going to have to look at me on face value and try to hire me, whether it's a hotel job or somewhere else. And I'm like, listen, if I'm going to have to start fresh and let alone apply for full time jobs of all things, I got to look fit a little bit. Like in 5 months, it's not going to be able to change dramatically, but at least be able to, have some stamina, be able to get going because
Mhm.
it's a thing that, I just got to consider. I'm like, if I want those jobs and it'll be like an easy time, you got to do it. But yeah, go ahead too. I was just saying that there is a stigma too with that stuff, especially when you're trying to apply for places or what have you. People
Yeah.
will judge.
Yeah. And I also like do sympathize with the situation where like I do know like a few people like I know in real life where like like how there's like some people like that look down like on obese people, right?
Yeah,
There's also the other type of people that look down on like people that are still viewed as skinny.
yeah,
The most let's see. I think like the worst person out of them all goes to my step. It goes to my step grandma in Mexico. Oh my god! Like, you know, when it comes to like any Hispanic grandmas that I've seen or known,
Mm-hmm.
they will always complain you're too skinny.
God.
I'm like, oh my god. Like I think it was like the last trip to Mexico that I went to, and even though I was looking like a bit healthier, but the problem is that my step grandma was still giving me shit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? Like, besides like, I was like looking at the weight scale, like noticing like I was like losing weight since I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like, I was like, because like I haven't done like exercises since I used to do like these martial arts classes that my friend introduced me to before my martial arts like teacher moved somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it gets to the point, you know what? I should just exercise, like get into the strength training, and you know try to go for at least 4 days a week to at least hopefully like obviously not really big, not like like super like Arnold Schwarzenegger big like back in the day.
Man, I want to look like Clark from King of Fighters. Fuck that.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely want to look very big as like a 13 Clark. Oh shit.
Christ. Oh man. Moving on.
So I'd say best example is that at least I want to look big as at least to the similar body type of like of Kyo and Yuri from KOF,
Yeet.
or at least some parts of Terry though.
Yeet. Whatever works.
Yeah, whatever that makes me look good also makes me feel good too.
Pretty much. Like for me, I don't even want to look ripped. I just want to look normal. I just want to look average, damn it.
Yeah.
I want to fit in like an XL shirt. Goals.
Yeah.
That's it.
For me, like at least I want to look at least a little rip. At least to the point where like my bar titties can't handle like some of my shirts anymore.
Oh Lord.
So
That's probably gonna be the weirdest part for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, probably the weirdest part about losing weight is just like it's gonna hit me like a truck at some point where it's like, oh shit, I need to buy like new jeans or something. You know what I mean? Man, I can't wait for those days.
Dude, I will say is that you're gonna be like smiling like when you gotta buy new jeans, man.
For real. I'm gonna be like, oh shit, it's happening. That's the thing too. I'm trying not to look at the scale just because well, for one, there's an appointment with like a doctor I have coming up in like 10, I guess like 9 days. So I know I'll get the measurements there anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just a thing where it's like I know if I keep looking at the scale, I'll be disappointed. And then there's like water weight, which is a real thing. Where like your weight will actually fluctuate throughout the day because of the water that you take it in. Like there's just things that I'm just like, I'm not gonna worry about the scale too much because I know I'm just gonna lose weight by the fact that I'm overweight.
Yeah.
It's easier to do right now, so I'm not worried about it until later.
Yeah. I would say like I might check the weight like here and there, but like I think I know I will hit it once I feel different things in my body, and I am starting to notice like a little bit of things happening. Like my arms are getting a bit harder. Same
Yeet.
thing for my thighs and my chest as well.
Yeet.
And apparently also my ass is also getting like a little bit hard as well. Yeah, it's thanks to squats.
Yeah.
Which by the way, again, I'm trying to get like those booty goals.
Ass has now entered hard mode. Soon he will get to nightmare.
Yes, I should do like a nightmare mode of it's a booty workout. Oh man, shit, man. Thank goodness, there's like a YouTube video where I can actually do like a daily, do like a booty exercises like daily, even during my rest days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Like, hopefully, wish the best of us luck with the workout goals.
Yeah.
And
We'll let y'all know if anything crazy happens, I guess.
yep. Or in case, if my booty, gets really strong, then
Pretty
I
much.
will let you know, when I'll start twerking again.
Matt Booty will go and say, I approve.
Yeah. I'll just videotape myself just twerking with my hard booty and just
I knew he was gonna do the quota at some point.
dude and then DM Matt Booty with that video.
I was like I forgot about Matt Booty until I was looking at the YouTube studio thing. I forgot that was in the thumbnail.
Oh man, you know what
Christ.
is that? Before we get into news, is that let me just get this out of the way. Is 2019 was an okay year, but we will never forget Matt Booty, the best part of 2019. I love that man.
Pretty much. 2019 was okay. It's weird. 2019 started off so strong for at least game releases. It was really good, and then it just kind of petered off for a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially November. I was surprised November I didn't play anything when I thought November was so packed. I was just I'm good. Falcon me up.
Yep.
But yeah. Overall pretty good. But yeah. I was gonna say, you need to take a break or anything in between?
Nope. I'm ready to speed through the other news.
Okay, because yeah, we're still. I did get a few comments from before, which by the way, I gotta stress it again. If you guys have any questions at all, because I know it's been 7 episodes. I think the first time Eva Lucario brought one up, and that's it. I'm I love y'all, but if you got seriously any questions at all. Even the most minute thing, oh, was there a disappointing game that you played in the year, or something like that, something simple. It's feel free to ask a question on the comments on the YouTube, or email if you want, whatever you prefer. But feel free to ask questions, because that's still a segment that we haven't really done aside from the first episode.
Yeah,
actually talking about pineapple on pizza.
Yes, literally, it can be any of those questions. I mean, you can just easily ask, who's your waifu of the month or some shit like that.
Yeah. Do you ever have a drink that you hated, or I don't even know, just literally anything?
Yeah. Do you have a cereal that you love back in the day, etc.
Do you use light mode on Twitter?
Yes.
I'm literally anything. Seriously, you guys could just ask anything. We could just rant about it.
Hell, well, even accept the question. How do you pronounce .gif, all that stuff.
Oh man, speaking of rants, I remember there was a question I was gonna ask you, but I'll save that for next time. Because remember how I mentioned I went off on a tangent with Arcadius one night on a question that I asked him because I couldn't find a really good answer. But I'll save that for later, because I know that would make us go over the 3 minute, or 3 minute, the 3 hour mark.
Yeah.
So I'll save that for next time. But it is a pretty good question. But yeah, no, just feel free to ask us anything, guys. We're super down. We'll make time for it. This one's pretty long as it is, just because we're kind of playing catch up a little bit for 4 months time, essentially. But yeah, with that being said, we'll just get right into the news. So let's start with the first one. There's not a whole lot. I knew that we were going to take a while just on the usual banter, since it's been a minute. But as always, we're going by Gematsu. Also, just making sure you can still see the screen share, right, on Discord?
Yep, I can still see the thing. And shouts to Sal Ramato and the Gematsu team. Thank you guys for doing your hard work for these news.
Oh yeah, every time we use we look up any of the news, it's always Gematsu, because man, they're so my favorite. It's just simple, to the point. They don't need to add, you ever see articles that add their own 2 cents, and it just bulks up the friggin' article so needlessly. I'm I just want the information,
Yeah.
They keep it to the point. I love that shit.
Exactly. I just want them informations.
for real. But now we'll get into some of the stuff. There's just a few. I didn't try since it's been 4 months. I didn't try to like let's go all the way back to news from like September. I'm like, nah, we're just doing like the two most recent pages.
Yeah, because like all going all the way back is way too much.
Yeah, it's pointless at this point. Um, so yeah, we're starting with this one first, which is pretty interesting. So the Mother 4 fan game that's been in the works for God, I don't even know how many years. I need to like look it up at some point. Actually, if you wanted, if you could like, do you know like when it started?
You know what? I'll check it quickly on my phone.
Yeah. But while he's doing that, long story short, the Mother 4 fan game rebranded Oddity, got a teaser trailer in the last few days on January 2nd, and it looks pretty good. Let me see if I can just I think they linked it. Yeah, they linked it in the background. Or
The
rather in
hell
the
that
article.
long? Okay, so check this out. Is that like the project began around 2006,
Oh my god.
and the game like it didn't like got developed until like late 2012 to late 2013.
Damn. That sounds about right though, because yeah, this game was made around the time when Shigesato Itoi said that he was pretty much done with the Mother series after Mother 3. And I guess, it's like I get it. Some people just wanted to keep going, and it's a really good series. It's definitely a very inspirational series compared to a lot, like for a lot of indie devs, like a lot of people take inspiration from the series, no doubt. Um, so it's I understand people wanting to keep, the flames lit, as they say. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's a smart move for them to not call it Mother 4, because man, it would never see the light of day.
And I will say is that thank God you're the first Nintendo fan game to be your own goddamn thing before the goddamn C&D.
Christ.
Holy crap! Like I can never stress enough. Like if you look up like I think one of like Wooly's video, like whenever he discusses like about fan games.
Yeah, oh, I forget the name of the video, but I need to look it up, where it's just like, shut the
Fuck
fuck
up.
up. I love that video, because yeah, too many times they announce this shit, they do like so many open updates, and it's like it's just cease and desisted before it even gets to see the light of day. Oh my god, it's like, just put it out when it's out.
Yeah, exactly. Like just put it out like before it gets nuked by Nintendo. And also props to them. Like I'm not calling them Mother 4 because um it's a definitely a big shoes to fill when you call
Yeah.
like your fan game Mother 4.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are still gonna like keep calling it that, or like, they'll always mention it because they know. Um, but that's definitely the thing for me as someone who I love the series, but I've only dabbled with it here and there. It's definitely one of those games, or rather, a series that I want to properly stream and just like, see what makes them great. Like I played Earthbound and I played Mother 3, but I never finished Mother 3 to completion.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to, give it the proper TLC. Just like Falcom, I want to give it the proper spotlight because I know it's a really good game. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it.
Yeah, and not to mention like with a really big cult following like over the years.
Oh yeah, and it still has one of my favorite for turn-based games. It still has one of my favorite time hit system in any JRPG I've ever played. As someone who like listens to the music constantly when I play games, it's so amazing. It's just like me when I played Crypt of the Necrodancer last year. Like I did like one session, I immediately understood the appeal. I love games that incorporate the gameplay into the actual music,
Yeah,
especially when it's catchy soundtracks.
do,
Like just being able to like time the hits. It's really good.
yeah, like I love how like when I first played Mother 3, I'm like, bro, I love to play some rhythm games. And this is like my jam
God.
right here.
Like there were some really good ones too that had like a slow build, and like you had to like keep going faster, like the
Yeah.
introduction. Like there's some really fun shit. There's so many tracks to go along the battles. It's great. It's genuinely like a super fun mechanic.
Yeah, and
Um
especially it's very fun like when you like listen to the soundtrack on your headphones.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I also like had my fair share of like playing like what's the Earthbound Beginnings, aka Earthbound Zero.
Yeah.
Uh, like I said, I do appreciate like where it came from, but that's definitely like still a rough game to this day. Earthbound, I definitely do get some enjoyment, but Mother
Yeah.
3, it's definitely like the game that had like a lot of quality fixes that pretty much like fix my complaints with the previous two games.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. 3 is like the best one, which is why like I really want to like get back into it someday cuz I think I got pretty close, but it was probably like around like the halfway-ish point, a little over.
Yeah,
But
man, just look at this. Is that like I'm pretty glad like they've updated so much like with the style of this game.
yeah, and you can still tell like that this sprite work is based off the Mother series, no doubt. But man, it does look really nice.
Yeah,
I do love though
mhm.
how oh sorry, I was just gonna say I do love though how they said like it's like it'll be out when it's ready. Chill. You know, like yeah, don't make people like wait on a release date. It's like you said like July 2020, where is it? You know? Oh, I hate when people do that. It's like don't even do that. Don't even give me that expectation, you know? I wish more people would just like put out a trailer and just be like, "We got no date. That's it. Just have this trailer," you know? I kind of respect that.
Yeah, me too. Like like I said, like the graphical style definitely still looks like Mother, and same thing for the art stuff with the characters as well. But
Yeah.
in combat, that's like a whole different story.
Oh yeah, combat looks like it has more action commands like the Paper Mario series or like a lot of the Mario RPG games, which I'm down for.
Yeah.
Um I always like that mechanic too. Like I'm all for any game that like if it's a JRPG and it has something more than just pressing buttons on a menu, it makes it so much more engaged and fun. So I'm all for that.
Yeah,
But
me too. And also loving like these character designs. Shouts to the female character who looks like Athena.
yeah, it's pretty good.
L-
I like how it's all in the 70s too.
yeah, yeah. Love how like they managed to nail that '70s aesthetic during the combat transitions.
Yeah. Man, it's really good. The only thing that I will say for me that just diminishes a tiny bit and I wasn't like freaking out you know when it happened, or rather like a few days ago when people were like, oh my god, it got rebranded, you know, it's called this thing. I didn't get overly hyped just because, being like super blunt, as someone who didn't follow it at all until this, like I knew Mother 4 was a project, but I wasn't following it nearly as much as like other fans were. Like I just knew it existed, right? I didn't even know what happened to it, but as someone from like the outside looking in, um it does diminish it a little bit when I see so many indie games be influenced by the Mother series that it just looks like another one. Um, but it is more faithful than those, to be fair.
Y-
So I'm still looking forward to it. It's just a thing where it's like I'm not like, oh my god, this is like the greatest fucking thing. I can't wait. You know, like I'm just like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just a little lower than some people.
yeah. I do. I do feel the same way. I have known about this is the thing, but wasn't aware. But I like with you, I did not like follow it constantly like with everyone else.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to this. Like I do know, like I'm expecting a very Mother experience, comparing it to other indie games that are like very Mother inspired. Because
Yeah.
no offense, like to other indie games. I mean, shouts like to like Toby Fox doing his own thing and mainly his own thing.
Yeah.
While other games like Since Earth World, whatever it's called, and Y2K, like
Mhm.
they will copy the aesthetics of Mother, but they don't know why it made the series great.
Yeah, like sometimes they just take it because it's what everyone else is doing. It's just like that's the thing. It's kind of like diminished the name a little bit. I hate that.
Yeah,
You
me
know, just
too.
like nah, give
Like
it some respect, damn it.
yeah,
You know?
it's like I think in my mind is that like anytime like where I see like someone attempting like those styles of games, like especially advertising being like it's like Earthbound, I'm like, you guys only just do it just for like, oh my god, it's so weird aesthetic. I'm like, no, there's actually more to that.
Yeah, there's way more. you know. Gosh, and that's the thing. It's like I'll have to see. I think aesthetics wise and like battle system and everything, it looks like it's got it down. I'll just have to see if the story, like,
Yeah.
can be put on that pedestal. Which is a pretty high bar because the Mother series is fantastic. No doubt.
Yeah, that's
It's underrated. Like, I know it has a huge cult
Mhm.
following, but it is still underrated in some regards to me. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, yeah, we'll definitely see like how the story goes, because the story is definitely a very tough thing to do. Because
Yeah.
remember, this is like a project that's not being involved or taken care by Itoy himself,
Hmm.
and trying to get down like Itoy style is really difficult.
Yeah, and it's like they don't even need to like, because this is the thing. I'd rather them not try to do Itoy style if they can't do it, but if they could do their own heartfelt story and like I feel things from it that makes me like really attached to these characters. That's all I'm looking for. Because it's hard to replicate that.
Yeah,
Um, but I just hope they come out with a good story too, because that's kind of the heart of a JRPG to me, is that like if I don't like the characters or the story or the writing in general, I don't want to keep playing for hours on end. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the writing is paramount.
Mhm.
Well, on top of fun gameplay and everything else, of course, but that is what makes you play for so much.
Yep.
But
So, speaking of like keeping up with things,
man, I haven't. I don't. This is the first time I think that we actually talked about this. Is it? I want to
you
say
know what? This actually is the first time we talk about this thing. I'm actually very excited of talking about this thing.
same. Oh my lord, some people still don't know about
I
it. Shout
know.
outs to Super Butter Buns. She was the one that actually like made a video about it, which I might still like link. It's pretty old by now, but it's still cool because she like just raves about what she's seen from the game so far.
Yeah.
So I know she's looking forward to it. But let me just introduce it. So Lost Soul aside, aiming for 2020 release. I'm so fucking excited.
I know. Like, so I'll give like a little backstory to for the folks out there. Is that I was like in randomly on YouTube and looking around these random game videos until I saw a certain video that had an interesting looking character with a mask. I'm like, what the hell is this? I clicked on it.
Bruh.
And then that's when you seen this trailer where you see gameplay, some story cutscenes, and especially the combat. And I'm like, where the hell did this game existed?
Yeah.
And then I had to like snoop around and learn, like, all that shit was made by one person.
I still can't believe
How?
it. Oh my god.
And you know what's crazy, dude, is that the reason why he made that was just because he got super hyped from watching a trailer from FF15. You know,
Yeah,
and being like,
that's the thing. He's like, man, let me do let me do the teleporting and like flippy dippy shit right.
dude, like,
Let me deliver on that.
I'm like, dude, it's like, you know what? Let me try to like, to see if I can try to replicate like, the aesthetics of that game, including like some of the combat here and there. But my god, dude, like, that's what just happened. Like,
It's so
he
good.
just watches a trailer from a fucking like video game like F15 and just turns it into that beautiful piece of art, man.
Like, it's phenomenal. And that's the thing. I'm like, listen, regardless of whether or not you love or hate 15, damn, it's worth it to see a game like this be inspired and look so fucking rad.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I said, is that if you love 15 or hate 15 to fucking bits, you cannot lie. This will be like the best shit that came out of 15.
God, pretty much. Like, some of that combat, man, that's like Devil May Cry tier
Dude,
combat. Like, it's insane how good it is, man.
bro.
If you guys haven't seen a trailer, holy shit,
Actually,
get on it. It's heat.
You know what you should do, dude? Is that don't link the Super Body Buns video. Just link the first trailer for them.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
For them to see like what we're talking about, because holy
F
crap.
it. I'll link both. I'll put the trailer, and then y'all know what to do if you want to have a good laugh.
All right, yeah, fuck it. Like we'll just like do both. That like
Man.
this is basically a game where like I want an action RPG that feels like DMC.
Yeah.
And this game fucking does it.
Like, it looks smooth. You got your launchers. Everything just looks so responsive. 60 FPS. Like, it looks so
And
good.
dude, and not to mention, like, when you look at the environments, they look so freaking amazing. And also like how there's like one part where you can actually like fly around. Like, fuck, dude, like, man, like, this game has come a long way. Cause actually, you know what? Let me quickly check when does this freaking first trailer came out.
I actually remember the time that I actually found out about it was through Shin, actually, because I know he's like a big DMC fan, but he like showed me the trailer for this a couple years back. And I was like, holy shit, that's one guy. I couldn't believe it.
Bro, what the fuck? Okay, so when I caught like the first trailer, right?
Hmm.
That was in freaking July in 2016, dude.
That sounds about right. I think that's when Shin showed me it too, in 2016.
Fuck. And keep in mind is that like when you watch that trailer, guys, you'll be amazed that that was just made from one freaking person. But currently,
It's
like,
absolutely insane.
it came to the point where like he managed to like get like a lot of good press, like especially like on social media, YouTube and stuff, to the point where like Sony granted him like a friggin' team to like complete this game because
Yeah, which is like super dope.
yeah, because originally like he said like he would want to make this game, but it will take forever to complete it as a one-man team.
Yeah. I'm like, listen, that's why, like, sometimes I can't really hate on like PlayStation or like Sony or whoever was responsible for that choice, because sometimes they do the right thing. It's hit or miss with them sometimes, because sometimes they're like weird censorship stuff or whatever. But then there are times like this, where like they'll like help out Kojima with like his next weird game or something. Like sometimes they really do help these like people just like get the shit out there. Because man, this one's gonna be one, like, I'm not kidding. If this shit is not on your radar, yo, look at that freaking trailer. I might even link like another trailer along. Like I might put three, but I might just do two on the card. It's really fucking good.
I know.
Like, this needs to be on your radar for this year. I'm not kidding.
But
Oh my god.
yeah, you know what? I will say this. I'll make a prediction: is that if this game managed to come out this year, automatically game of the year for me.
God, honestly, I'd believe it. We'll have to see.
Fuck, man, because I'm just really excited, because again, like I've seen like the trailer, some of the like a little like the demos that were like released in the past years, but it comes to the point where like I just can't wait, to like get this game in my hands and play it.
Yeah, same. Oh my god. Like, it's one of those games where it's like I forget about it intentionally just so that the wait isn't painful for me, but then when I'm reminded again, I'm like, oh my god, please. I want it so bad. Uh Gosh, I
Yeah,
can't wait.
yeah, and again, like,
But just
mhm.
to, oh, I was just gonna say, just to stress again though, they've only said that they're aiming for a 2020 release. That does not mean that it's confirmed to come out in 2020. That does not mean that they have a month associated with 2020. They're just saying that that's what they want to do, and they're trying to make it happen. But if it doesn't show up by 2020, hey, listen, don't get mad. It'll come out probably next year.
Yep,
But the fact they're aiming for it means that you'll either get it late 2020 or early 2021.
yep, and at the end of the day, it'll be like either Game of the Year 2020 or Game of the Year 2021.
Pretty much. Oh man, I'm
Fuck,
looking
man.
forward to it.
Me too, like hell. I even like love the aesthetic like of the main character, because you can tell this man just like made his own fucking OC version of Noctis.
Yeah, I love it. Oh
Oh
man,
my god.
he's good shit.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, speaking of good shit, man. So we got a few minutes. I'm trying to see if we can like finish before the 3 hour mark,
Yep.
but we're still good on time. The rest of these are pretty brief, but I knew Lost Soul Side. I was just like, listen, we gotta gush because we haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the next one coming up, Samurai Showdown for Switch launches February 25th in the West. Bruh, it's finally time. Oh man, I forgot. That's right. You could also play it on Stadia right now if you're very unfortunate. As Vex called it, Samurai Slowdown.
Mm.
Don't do it.
Yep. Here's the funny part: is like people are gonna say Slowdown was gonna be like the Switch version, but no, it ended up going to the Stadia version. Yep.
Seriously.
Basically, the point is that Summer Show on the Switch is finally coming here next month, and hopefully you guys can finally have a good taste of the fun we've been having like the past months.
Yeah, if you know anything about us, you know we've been raving about that shit. Like the last episode that we just put out, or rather that I put out, that was like I think first impressions of Samurai Shodown, like how much we love that shit, and we stream it pretty much every month. Because there's a new character coming out. They keep making you come back. If you're not playing Sam Show, get on it. You still have time. Season 2 is about to happen this year. Oh my god. And they're probably going to do like a really cool thing where I'm hoping that, for the Switch version, it'll be like free DLC pass or something. Like, I don't know. They'll probably do something cool.
Yeah.
But if not, it's probably like it's affordable. But yeah.
Yep. And well, however, the cool part is that like they will be including the a new Geo Pocket game, Samurai Showdown 2.
Yeah.
And keep in mind,
those are. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, keep in mind is that this is like one of the first time I've seen a Neo Geo Pocket release ever, digitally.
Yeah, like proper emulation and everything. Like, man, it's nuts,
dude. Remember like when the 3DS was getting like Virtual Console games? Like,
yeah,
we had like Game Gear, and it was like Game Gear, Game Boy Color, Game Boy. I believe Game Boy Advance. Did they do Game Boy Advance? Actually, no, they didn't do Game Boy Advance.
They did, but only for the ambassador.
Oh
program.
yeah, only for the ambassador.
I don't even know what's up with that. Yeah,
but basically my point is that Virtual Console like lineup never got Neo Geo Pocket games.
Yeah, which is so weird because Neo Geo Pocket like color games always look so cool to me after I saw like Max stream some of them. It's like super limited, like almost 8-bit style like graphics and everything, right? But like the sprite work is so charming and like chibi, like big arm proportions, like cartoony ass like limbs. It's fantastic. I love the style of those games. Like the sprite work still looks fluid and really good for the limitations of like what they're on. Like better than most games. Like when you see certain games or like sprite based games like being like downscaled, they kind of look rough, but those games are actually like really good. Like artistically, it's a nice like simple style. It looks great.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and hopefully it means like we'll get like more Neo Geo Pockets like in the future. Because goddamn, like most of you people need to experience like the Neo Geo Pocket games outside of Sonic Pocket.
Yeah, there's some really good ones. Even freaking SVC, there was like one on the Pocket too, which is really good.
Oh yeah, SNK versus Capcom like match of the Millennium.
Yeah.
And that
God, they had like a lot of stuff. They had like King of Fighters. They had like a Fatal Fury game on there, I think too. It's nuts.
Even freaking YouTube Masters Pocket, man.
Yeah. They really tried with that one, man. It's dope. That library needs to be put out again. It really does.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is that which I never seen like for emulation for any like handheld game consoles is that unlike other like this is like the first time I've seen where you can play like a fighting game that was originally on a portable system in 2 players locally instead of like having to rely on a link cable.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, which is actually
that's like interesting.
Yeah, because like this is like one of the most dopest thing about like Sam Show 2 Pocket, like on the Neo Geo Pocket, is local play without resorting to, hoping for someone that has like another copy of Sam Show or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. The last thing before I go on to the next one is that, like I mentioned before, for those who skipped out on like the last episode, Samurai Showdown is like the best pick up and play fighting game I've played in years. Friggin' years, man. Like, other games try to be accessible by dumbing down mechanics and stuff, but there is nothing like Sam Show. Like, I'd say the closest thing to Sam Show in terms of like being like accessible and just fun to play even at a casual level would be like Soul Calibur, because of like the 8-weight run and there's like so much more freedom you have there. But Samurai Showdown is great because it's fantastic to learn the ins and outs of fighting games without having to worry so much about execution or that feeling of like, man, combo was decent but it wasn't optimized, right? Like, it's just 2 hits, cancel into a special move and go. Like, it's so simple, it's so easy to pick up and play, where it's like I said, we do sessions every month, but I'm not playing every month unless it's those sessions. Like there's usually a month gap in between each one of those, and it's always still fun to play. I never feel like I'm rusty or like I need to learn something again. It just fits like a glove every single time. It is perfect for me or for people who are like super busy and they can't do those lab hours or don't want to and they're playing other games but still want to have fun whenever they do pick up this game again. Like I know it's a bit of a meme at this point, but this is one of those games that's perfect for Switch and it still looks really good too. It's not even a bad port whatsoever. It helps that like the characters already have like, you know, really like defined outlines and everything, so it really pops on the Switch. It's a very good port, but it's fantastic. If you're looking for a fighting game on the Switch, I'm not even kidding. This is like probably the best one to just like pop out everywhere and just like show it to friends if you're like, you know, going to their house or something and just showing off your library. This one's fun. Like people can learn it in a few seconds and they're good.
Yep.
It's good shit.
Really good stuff.
But man,
is that a Photoshop right there?
The memes are pretty good. I'm just putting this to rag on it because, man, they really had to announce this. Y'all, did you know what's happening? PS5 logo revealed. Much more to share in the months ahead. Man, that is a logo. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It looks so... No. I remember seeing someone, like, did a Photoshop edit where, like, they just, like, invert the P, put it upside down, and just add a line, and it's like, there you go. That's the 5. Oh my god. Like it's damn, they really just had to announce the logo. It looks the fucking same. Jokes aside though, I am glad that they're just keeping it simple. It's just like, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, not Xbox Series X. You know, we don't gotta deal with the Xbox One X, the Xbox S, the Xbox SAD, or the Xbox SAD.
Yeah, or
don't gotta deal with the sex box.
Yeah, or that, or the my favorite one, the X-Bone.
Yeah.
But sex box, that's a good one though.
Oh my god. You know, just like I'm glad they kept it simple, but yeah, there's like nothing else to talk about there. I just found it funny. There are some rumors about backwards compatibility, but those are just rumors.
Yeah.
So I ain't setting myself up for disappointment. Keep your like honestly, people, keep your expectations in check.
Yeah.
Don't shoot for the moon.
Yep, and also keep in mind, like, that was like a rumor that was mentioned twice, by the way.
Yeah. So it's like, who knows? We'll see.
Yep. When whatever works, don't, and I mean, whatever works, you know, as long as it's not broken.
Yep. But that's pretty much it on that one.
Yep. So what's the
next one's a little weird. Caused some people to get like nervous when it happened. It's like, I get it. But yeah, boy. Platinum Games receives capital investment from Tencent Holdings to expand into self-publishing. So, Tencent, for those who don't know, is a pretty old company. They've been around since, like even the NES days. And they've been in kind of hot water with the whole controversy with Blizzard in China and Hong Kong right now. So people are just like, what does this mean for Platinum Games? Honestly, it doesn't change too much. They've stated that they're still independent, and I guess the funds will help them on just like self-publishing, which is fine because sometimes projects that they want to do, they couldn't do. Like Bayonetta 2, you know, like as a lot of people know, that game couldn't have been made if Nintendo didn't help it publishing it. You know, like a lot of projects they want to make just can't be done without someone else's support. So we'll see if this is a good or bad thing. It's just a matter of, you know, we'll have to see what happens going forward. But I think they're fine. It's just Tencent putting their, pretty much putting their fingers in the pie of everything, it seems like. They just put in a little bit of money everywhere.
Yeah.
It's freaking nuts.
Pretty much like being the Disney of video games.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried yet, you know. I'd say worry when you see something questionable later on, but there's no reason to worry or doubt Platinum Games yet. We'll just have to see. For right now, it's just funds that they need for other things, so...
Yep.
It's just, you know, that's it.
Yep.
But,
we'll see what happens.
Check how we're doing on time. Oh, we got like 10 minutes. But we're fine. We got this. These are very short. So Pokemon Direct set for January 9. I just wanted to put this in because it's happening tomorrow because I actually forgot it was happening once again. TLDR, pretty neat, I guess, that it's happening. I did not bother getting Pokemon Sword and Shield, or rather Sword and Shield. I'd want to check them out, but I'm like, man, I'm just done with the series at this point because it's not enough for me. Like, I feel like if I wasn't playing anything else, like this is the thing you gotta understand, right? Pokemon is still a fun game on its own, and it's fine. But this is the year when I was playing Falcom JRPGs. This is when I was playing the Trail series. Compared to that, like, I know it's like apples and oranges, but when it's like JRPGs in general, I'm like, listen, one game is delivering on shit that I'm dreaming of, ambitions that I wish were in so many other games, despite their low budget, despite being smaller than most teams I see nowadays. And one just has all the money in the world and yet still plays it safe and almost feels like there's no ambition because they have to put one out every year. And I get their constraints, I know that, but man, that means that I'm not as interested as I once was when I was younger. It's just too much of the same. But, for this direct, all I'm going to say really quick is just that they're probably not going to show much. They don't really reveal too much on directs. I doubt people are immediately asking for Sinnoh remakes or Gen 4. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
that's probably not going to happen. I love that shit, by the way. People were like, man, they got to take a break with putting out like a game every year. And then it's like, oh man, Sinnoh remakes? Like, y'all are dumb.
Oh my fucking
Y'all are so dumb. Practice what you preach.
dude.
Christ.
I am so glad like I'm able to like what is it, like just like mute like Mr. in quotes and now see my shit in my timeline.
Pretty much, man. I mean, maybe they'll announce like a spin-off or something. Who knows? I don't really have any expectations for this. I feel like at most maybe they'll finally introduce what like Pokemon Home is, which I guess was like a way to transfer Pokemon and stuff. Maybe they'll just elaborate on that and how that works.
And
I'm not expecting any major reveals.
well, the thing I'm hoping for is Pokemon Sleep, so I can sleep during that.
Touche, my friend, touche. But yeah, we'll see. By the time like this goes up, it'll probably be like late news. But I just wanted to like I guess like put in predictions or something.
All right, so what's the next thing?
But super quick, kind of mentioned it on Twitter. This is just weird. We'll see what they mean by this.
Well, I do have a theory for this one though, but let's.
I do too. But yeah, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition for Switch to include a little something extra, they said. Who knows? But yeah, so there's going to be more information on the January 16, 30, and February 13, which I know it's coming out like early this year. So who knows? Matt's being a little coy in that video on Twitter.
Yep.
He's a really good guy though. I love Matt Walker. But
me too.
like honestly, a lot of the PR people for Devil May Cry are just like really kick ass. I freaking love it. But yeah, no, they're just kind of teasing that, they felt motivated, as they say, as a certain fellow says. But yeah, so I guess I'll let you go for what do you think this is gonna be, man? I'm not expecting anything crazy with a port, but I do have one that'd be shooting for the moon, but you go ahead.
Yeah, mine is also pretty much a guess as well, but I was thinking, in before, like, everyone is like, oh, it's probably like Dante for Smash, Dante for Smash, Dante for Smash. I'm like, no, you assholes.
Oh my god, no, it's for Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, you idiots.
I'm like, let me just post a picture of a... What is it?
I would love to be wrong, though, but still, that's dumb. They specified this game.
I know. But basically the point is that I can just take a picture of an entire like Switch library and just ask, is this coming to Smash? But anyways. So, yeah. I have a theory for this, is that my best guess of the extra thing they're including is it would be like the greatest freaking thing ever, but I highly doubt they will able to make it happen. Is it will be pretty kick-ass if that extra thing ends up to be style switching mode for the first time included as an official release.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. It would be neat. I feel like that'd be like the safest thing to do. Granted, I know you'd have to bounce the game a little bit. I feel like actually that's more reasonable than the other one that I was thinking. Like if they were gonna shoot for the moon,
Yeah.
but it'd be way too much for a port. I was thinking, what if they added, because it's the Switch version? What if they were absolute madmen and added a co-op mode to Devil May Cry 3?
Oh, that'd be too much work.
With Dante, that's the thing. I was like, man, if they were truly motivated, they put in a new fucking mode and balance the game around like two characters like Dante and Virgil just destroying everything.
Dude.
But they'd never. That's way too much ambition for a port.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to shoot for the moon, they could do that too.
Yeah. Because like I was gonna say, like, the reason like I say like that like the style Switch mode like included like from Devil May Cry like 4 and 5. It's because like there's actually a mod that exists for Devil May Cry 3 PC along with the HD one.
Shin's told me about it. Which I'm like, I would do it, but for my first time playthrough, I just got to keep it, the way people played it. But yeah, I've heard about the mod.
Yeah, which is actually like a really good mod. It's like the most game changer mod. Like it's actually, let me rephrase. It's like a game changer like for the game. Like when it existed, because holy crap, like I can actually like switch styles like midway through instead of just deciding to pick which one to use for this mission.
Yeah
and I think that's probably like the safest thing they can probably do without like extra like balancing and stuff.
Yeah, that's also like for sure. Like, yeah, you could probably do like style switching. It'd be because it's something everybody wants. It's like the safe choice. Honestly, I'd say they should go for that. But who knows? Maybe they'll throw a curveball and be like, for special edition, we just added a fuck ton more characters.
Or how?
I don't even know, bro.
Or how? Like, I mean, we'll get like playable lady, like for Devil May Cry 3, and probably like those people that have like those like red and blue Joy-Cons get like extra like a secret unlockable or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll just have to see. But yeah, looking forward to that. If it's a worthwhile addition, maybe I'll actually buy that one. I'm definitely not buying Devil May Cry 1 or 2 because even then their compression is awful for whatever for the Switch one. Like it's just, God, it's just front loaded. They didn't compress anything. Fucking gigs on gigs for those file sizes, man.
Especially for
so be careful if you buy those.
Yep, especially if you're gonna get your Game of the Year Devil May Cry 2 right there.
Oh man, that freaking account.
Yeah, wait,
I wonder if they're gonna start liking my posts when I mention that it's like live or something.
Oh my god! Like, shouts to like to freaking like Roy, just like shilling lives that account.
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh lord. But real quick, this is the last one.
All right.
Because I know we're running pretty short on time. We might just go a little over 3 hours, but bear with us, people. It's turn to form. You know how it goes. But this is pretty interesting just because it's like really low key. I don't see anybody talking about this. And granted, I know the series is pretty niche, but hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right. Microids and the Oddworld Inhabitants signed co-publishing deal for 3 classic Oddworld titles coming to Switch. And the first one I did know about, and I was gonna add it, but then I saw this more recently. I was like, well, this is just better. So yeah, Stranger Giraffe HD was announced a few days ago to come to the Switch. And I've heard that's a pretty good game. I'll be real, I have not played any Oddworld game, but I have heard that they have a lot of fans. I've mainly discovered them through, I don't know if you watch this channel, but Ketikarus. He's like a really good YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
I found out about him through him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, from my experience, like, for Oddworld is, I remember, like, my brother playing that game as PS1, and all I remember is the advertisement of, like, that weird creature with a customized, like, soda can. That and
oh yeah.
That the only thing I remember is just like seeing my brother just like dying a lot of times, but it was pretty neat. Like the graphical style, it was just it was just like a puzzle platform. It was just like a puzzle platformer in pre-rendered 2D.
Yeah. Gosh, I wish I could like describe what those games are, but it's kind of like the more weighty ones, kind of like Prince of Persia, like the ones that are just like side scrolling, but also like kind of punishing sometimes. Man, it gets pretty brutal.
Yeah, I do know like there's like a lot of like puzzle elements to it, but it's been a while since like I've seen or played Oddworld.
Yeah, and like I said, I haven't played it myself. I've heard some pretty cool, like it's like definitely a low key series, but it has like some unique like elements to them. For the time when a lot of games were going 3D, it was kind of cool to like see a series that kind of like was trying to do like its own world building. It was trying to stick to like the pre-rendered like 2D sprite look. Uh, but I do know there is a remake of the first one too, so maybe that could be one of the ones that is like unannounced of the three. Because I know the second game is also getting a remake, or at least like it's in development. So who knows? But it's just cool. Like if anybody like happens to be a fan, uh, they're pretty weird. They're pretty creative. A lot of like unique monster designs and like a whole bunch of stuff. It's like it's its own really unique fantasy world. Um, so who knows? Maybe for somebody. But it is cool that once again it's just more Switch games, more variety. Like there's something for everybody. Good lord. If you haven't found anything yet, I don't know what to tell you. But this is cool. Cool to see that series, getting out there a bit more. But aside from that, that is pretty much everything. We free.
Yay.
It's 2:58. So yeah, it's pretty short for news. But that's because we kind of had to go back and redo all this, get the flow again. And man, it was funny. I was thinking like, man, are we even gonna hit the 3 hour mark? I don't know if there's like much to talk about, but no, we do it easy every time.
Yeah,
God.
it happens like every time, dude.
Yeah, but they did say that from what I oh yeah, because I remember I went on the tangent about the question. Yeah, that they did say that 3 hour mark is pretty good for them, so that's a sweet spot. I know before it was like I think once or twice it was like 4 hours, and I'm like, yeah, that's a bit too much.
Yeah.
So 3 hours is fine. Again, we're going a little over just for the sake of kind of elaborating and just talking a lot because it was bound to happen on the return. But we're just about done. There's no really question segment, so what can you do? But did you have any closing thoughts or anything that you didn't get to say?
Nope. That's pretty much it.
That's it. Well, then I mean that's pretty much it. I don't want to leave you guys with a date for next time, like next week or something. I'd like to do another one in January if you could, maybe towards like late January, maybe like 2 a month, but we'll see. It's hard to tell. Sometimes it gets so into it's gonna be hard to tell as well because there's a lot of games coming out soon. Like I wanted to get this done before 2020 really starts like snowballing because it's gonna be hard like these next few months. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 like Remind DLC, I'm looking forward to that soon. Then the Geofront patch should be out, so I'm playing Trails Sims are like crazy.
Yep.
And then it should be like March for like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Return. Like it's gonna be stacked.
Yeah.
Like at the like in the next few days, it's gonna be a snowball for me.
Yeah, and not to mention we also got like Uniclear in February.
Yeah, honestly, it's to the point where it's like Grand Blue Fantasy. Like I know Vex mentioned before, it's like I'm probably gonna have to skip it. I know we mentioned that before on the podcast, that game, and I love fighting games, but that Geofront patch is gonna be hard to ignore.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really hard. Like I'm like even if it comes out like early February, like I'm gonna be playing the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC, like late January anyway. So it'll be out when that game is done, I think, or it'll be very close.
Yeah, and plus like it doesn't have like a Grand Blue versus doesn't have like a Salt release date thanks to the PR like the lack of PR like stuff from Xseed.
I thought there was a release date.
No, there wasn't like a release date.
Weird.
They weren't very clear
Huh.
about it, so
Okay. Well, we'll see. But the thing is too is that like I'm definitely checking out Uniclear because I've played the series. Heck, we might even do like um a Unis stream like beforehand so we can like get warmed up or something before like release day.
yep.
We might do that because I'm thinking about doing that. But that's way easier to do because I know the game a little bit more than checking out the whole roster for like a day or like a session, right? Because it takes a while. And then finding the character and then hopping online and probably trying to learn the ins and outs of the game. So I could probably do like Uniclear in like a day or 2 sessions. Whereas Granblade, I have to probably put like a bit more time just to like properly give it the attention it deserves to like properly learn it.
Yeah, and it also helps out. Like, it's the only thing I gotta like. One is gotta learn. What's the different things you nuclear, along with trying to learn Lundraka himself.
Yeah, but we have like a basis, like we kind of know what to
Oh yeah,
expect. Man, I miss playing Aurier. God, she's so fun.
dude, just get ready to get for those like crazy like Lineage just a nuclear.
Yeah. I can't wait. Oh man, I can't. Yo, they better not touch that character select screen. They better keep that the exact same. Oh man, that music is so good.
It's really good. So
But
wait, so so I'm gonna ask you this aside, like, so what can the listeners do for questions?
oh, well, I mean, once again, they could always just reply in the comments, or they can email if they want at teatimesaveroom@gmail.com. But it's easier in the YouTube comments if you guys want to submit it. You can submit anything you want. Uh, unless you were asking, like, where you just like suddenly tell me to remind them, or were you like, actually asking like examples?
Just to remind these guys to send questions.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like every time we're done with news, it's like, well, it's over. I'm like, we could always go back to like another ramble or something. Especially since we're trying to keep the news sections like brief. I know there's like a few. If it's like a game that we haven't talked about at all, of course, I'm like, let it rock for like 5 minutes or a little bit. Um, but yeah, aside from that, just a lot of games coming out 2020. Make sure to protect your wallet, spend your money wisely. I will say one last thing too, a PSA, if you will. PSA for everybody that's intimidated by all the games coming out. Listen, take it from me. Impulse buying out of hype, don't do it. Don't ever do it, right? Because if you can't play that game and then you see it, like, because for me personally, I've had games where like I've bought them on release because I'm excited to play them, and then I can't play them for like the next 2 or 3 months because I'm busy with something else or I'm streaming something else as is. Like I cannot make time to play that game, right? And then I see it like 3 months later on sale for a cheaper price, and I kick myself because I haven't even started that game yet. Unless it's a collector's edition you want, or a small little like reason, like a little asterisk behind why you want it as well, that it's like a one-time thing. Don't bother getting that thing day one if you can't play it. Save it for later. Who knows? Might be on sale for Black Friday. Like I didn't buy Devil May Cry 5 despite knowing that I would love it, or Resident Evil 2 Remake despite knowing I would love it, because I didn't have time for it. And hey, guess what? I got both of those games for like $20 on Black Friday, less than $20 each. Fantastic games, like really cheap. And it's because I waited because I knew I wasn't gonna have time to play them. Like I'm just saying, be smart with your money. There's a lot of games coming out. Buy the ones that you can play. If it's gonna be in your backlog, wait until later. That's all I gotta say. Be smart with your money. But that's just how it is. But that's pretty much it.
Yep. Just remember to save your monies.
I was like the silence. I'm like, is he alive? Who's he judging outside that window? Nah, I'm kidding. Oh man. But yeah, that'll do it. That'll be an episode, people. We did it. We're back kicking shit off right in 2020. And hopefully we'll be back when we can. Like I said, no guaranteed date, just it'll be out when it's out. But thank you guys so much for the support on the last one, despite it being so late, like extremely late. But I still think it was worth it because of, the rambles and rants that we always have. Sometimes some of that stuff might still be topical. It was kind of funny how like Vex was laughing at how we were talking about like an SNK rep for a Smash. It's just like,
Yeah.
there you go. It happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, man, both of us completely forgot about that.
I forgot too, because that's the thing. I was so lazy with that one, and honestly, I might do it like this going forward. Unless anybody says anything. Let me know if the audio was like distracting or anything for last week's, or rather not last week's, but like the last episode. Because that one I did extremely lazy. I just did some like noise removal, and then any point where there was like dead silence, I'd try to clean it up just in case there was like any like background noise or like long pauses. but I didn't try to get rid of too many of the clicks and ums or anything that, I kind of tried to do more the other times, but it's so late that I was just like, fuck it, I can cut corners, you know. So if it didn't bother anybody and the episode was fine to listen to all the way through, let me know, because I sure as hell didn't preview it. I didn't bother listening to some parts. That's what it caught me off guard, because I was like, when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, I had no idea, because I didn't even listen to it. I just did what I could see visually, not even doing playback. Oh man.
Yep. But hey, I mean, here goes, to TTSR 2020, and yep.
And this time we will last for the whole year.
Oh, hopefully.
I swear.
Hopefully we don't end up as an OVA series again.
Yeah, it was like, man, season 1 was OVA. We didn't even make it to 12 episodes, guys. We weren't even a full season. It was like the joke I made to Cutie Soul in the TMs. So I'm like, yeah, hopefully we can do 1 or 2 seasons this year. We'll see, man. But regardless, you all have a good one. Take care, and we'll see you for the next one.
And always remember to stick with your goals.
Later, guys.
Ah, shit.
We free.
Not gonna lie, I actually kind of hesitate a little bit on the last part.
Oh, it's fine. I can always cut out the silence.